And then, and one of those pictures that I sent, that's the gentleman, and you can see the crowd that he had.
No, I see it.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is stand on the corner down there Friday afternoon and watch them come. And most of them are just, that's what they're here for.
So-
They rip and roar, they're tearing up our roads, not just the reservoir. You know, we're having issues with people complaining about the roads bad, and us trying to keep up with the roads. And I've seen them out there in front of my house spinning donuts just as hard as cleats like this one time, and spinning donuts and ripping and roaring. I mean, it's a game to them. This is a amusement park.
Even to the point that when I worked here and I was working on the roads, we would just get through grading and rolling the road. They would do it right there in front of us.
Oh, yeah.
As we done, and then we're like, what are you doing? We don't care.
Yeah, they don't, exactly.
And they don't care, so.
Then what do you do?
You gentlemen got, well,
I've
there's a
got
lot we
no
can
ideas.
do.
You know what I'm
We just
saying?
have to,
Right, then what do we do? Because
Yeah.
he sits and they're doing it in front of your face, his face.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
as a citizen, you know, as a citizen, resident of Montour, what do we do?
yeah.
First and foremost, you call the law.
So I'd like to speak on that real quick.
First and foremost.
So I've been gone for 9 months in the military. I was going forward. My parents have lived here in Montour for 8 years, I want to say. And every time I come home on vacation, I call the law. I call the police department. I call the sheriff's office. This place has no law enforcement stability when it comes to protecting the people of the community. Okay, because in the 2 days I've been here, I've watched 6 or 7 people roll that stop sign on Hunting Club and Hacienda. They blast 70, 80 miles an hour. That's no longer just a failure to obey a traffic control device. Now you're going into felony traffic stops with speeders. Like, so that goes aside with the four-wheeler situation or the side-by-side or whatever they're driving. There's rules and regulations to that. On roads, off roads, the proper protective equipment they're supposed to be wearing, there's no enforcement with the roads here on.
Let me say something. This is private property. We have to give them, and I signed it before I left many years ago. I signed a paper that they could enforce. Everything here was just like it was outside of here. If that's still not active, and they can't. They have to have permission from this board to stop anybody on these roads and enforce the law. Obviously, something serious, you know.
The sheriff's office.
The sheriff's office cannot. If we say right now, y'all are not allowed out here to write one ticket, they can't.
You
They
gotta think,
cannot.
this is how.
This
like
is
a
private
gated
property.
community, it's private property.
What we did was is that still enforced?
Yeah, so I
Is it still-
actually have a copy of it.
Okay.
I spoke to the county attorney on this very issue on Wednesday of last week. And we have an old agreement
Still, okay.
that's still in place. And,
Okay.
I'll show it to, I sent it to you all, but
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I
I'll
got
find
it.
it. You got it? There, I'll find it. I got it here somewhere.
I read the email.
Here it is. So, and yeah, here it is. 1998, we entered into an agreement to extend traffic control jurisdiction to Hendry County, where we basically allowed, because this is, I would say this is public land, it's not county.
Yeah, I said
Right.
private. I said that
Yeah.
wrong. It's public.
There's public, but they're owned by Central County in fee.
Right.
So we signed a memorandum of agreement with the county where we said, you can have traffic enforcement authority on our property, because we don't have the capabilities to enforce traffic on.
So that's what I'm saying. Who's protecting the people?
Well, should be Hendry County.
That's the sheriff. That's the sheriff's office.
It's always been.
So it's got to be taken up to LaBelle, to the sheriff's office.
sheriff.
We usually have a sheriff or two in every meeting here. I don't know why
And they're
they're
always eager to help. So
And they tell us, yeah, there's a community service officer who says, my sole job is to make sure that this area, the Montour area, is getting the level of sheriff support it needs. I forgot that young man's name.
It's
always-
AJ.
No.
Todd. He's talking about Todd.
Okay.
how
so-
long have you been out here?
Todd.
In Montour?
Yeah.
So I've been lifeguarding since I was 14 years, or
Yeah.
15 years old here.
So I can tell you this. As bad as you think it is now,
Yeah.
you should have seen it years and years and years ago.
Yeah.
You could call dying and it'd be 45, 50 minutes.
Oh,
We're never
I believe
here.
it.
Now, at least, I mean, it's not perfect, but at least they're here. But we just got to push them a little bit.
Yeah, we're supposed to
and
have
let
2
them-
deputies,
Yeah.
one from Henry County and then one from the Hill Foundation, that they paid for the truck, fuel, I mean, everything. But the situation is with that is if they're called out to do something else, then they have to go.
That's why we
And that's the
didn't.
problem.
We were going to pay one from out of our budget many years ago, but we didn't because of that.
And it's
The
probably
minute
the
they
reason-
told us that they could call him anytime out of here, anywhere. We said no. We
Alright.
wanted him here, exclusively here, and we,
They just pulled up right now.
the sheriff, they're here, so. But the four-wheelers, now let me tell you about the four-wheelers though. They run up and down these right-of-ways, and they have permission to use them.
Even on roads.
Yeah, well, the roads the deputies do something about.
Yeah.
On these right-of-ways, the deputies can't do anything about, because I know for a fact that I fought that battle until I got tired of fighting it, because this board made an agreement to let them ride on the reservoirs. It's written somewhere, somehow, and I fought it for 12 years to get it taken off, so they couldn't. You wanna ride in the reservoir, you can't run all over this place. Then the deputies, like the deputies was telling me back then, I see him, he's on the road, I got him, I take off after him, he hits them right of ways, and before you know it, I can't find him. And he couldn't pursue him on them right of ways. We need to get rid of that mess and allow them to enforce everywhere here.
Wasn't it at one time, I think when I first moved out 04, 05, that you actually had to load up, be on a trailer, park it here, just unload it,
Yep.
and go into the reservoir?
And then they opened up all the right of ways. What first brought me to this meeting was my lot's on a corner. The house I live in now is away from the corner. The other one then was, and they were all night long. We're just all night long, back and forth from there. You couldn't sleep, so I came here. And if I remember correctly, the best that got done was a curfew. After 11 o'clock, and if it's been changed, I don't know, but after 11 o'clock, they weren't supposed to ride down the reservoir. But they made it very hard for these deputies to enforce.
And
Why
I
don't we go back like we used to in the 80s and early 90s, clean the ditches and throw them up there and not let them ride through
Yeah.
there?
Well, you remember they opened the right-of-ways for the fire department. That was the whole reason of the right-of-ways to begin with.
And
Because we
that
had those
just-
big
yeah.
fires, and then the fire trucks couldn't, it was hard for them to go from one area to the next to the next. It was easy for them to hit the canal bank if they had to get water and so forth on. That's why the right-of-ways were open originally. Now, I don't know how much of the fire department uses the right-of-ways still. I don't know.
Well, if they're not in a brush truck, they're not using the right of way.
Well,
Well, when we say
You know what,
right-of-way, we're talking
though?
about canal
Guys,
banks.
let's-
is what
Yes,
we're talking
they're
about.
not putting it in.
let's see if we can take care of this real quick.
Yes.
Let's see if we can take care of this.
Yeah.
So, all we need is a motion to stop all this, as far as the right-of-ways, right? No more ATV traffic on our right-of-ways,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
Gentlemen?
Yeah, and just keep
Right.
in mind with
All that.
any, this is Central County. So Central County can establish any reasonable rules it wants. The second part of the equation is enforcing.
Who's gonna enforce?
Well,
Right.
once we clear up the muck a little bit, maybe these guys will, because we tried to get them to enforce it years ago with all the stipulations, and they said, guys, we got our hands. So now, if we say, no more, just like you said, you wanna ride your four-wheeler, take it down there. I'm hurting myself right here, but anyway, no more. Hey, it is what it is. No more. Now, and they can enforce anywhere. There's no, because that was off limits to them, and they did not like it. Then maybe we can get a little more cooperation.
Well, they wouldn't tear up our roads and our side
Yeah.
streets and everything else.
So they can rip after it.
But then they tear up our fences.
Well, we gotta go from one to the other.
I'm okay with it.
So we need a motion,
I'll make that motion.
A second.
okay? Can I clarify this motion
Please.
for you? Or you want me to clarify, you tell me yes or no?
Yes.
No more riding on our right of ways, four-wheeler, off limits.
Now, the most important thing is that we have to get this information out to the citizens.
Yeah, we have to, we'll make some, we can post it somewhere, make some flyers, whatever you need to do.
All of that, outreach, letting people know what
Yes.
prohibitions are, and posting signage, and then working with Hendry County Sheriff's Office to let them know what, because they're kind of like the enforcement officers.
Right.
They're the eyes and ears out there.
Right.
Without them.
So we'll give them full access and what they need to do. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Okay. You guys wanna spend a little time on the reservoir, or just kind of get an idea where we're going, and then we not get a lot of time, and then move on?
Let's tackle our agenda.
Okay, you wanna go back at the end? Okay.
Let's talk
All right.
about it then.
Okay, so with all that being said, district manager's report.
Our crew is now complete, except the part-time person. We got one in mind after going through 5 different applications. We might call her back on this next week. Woodland project is still in process. We got 3 more covers to go. Yes,
Employee, let's go back to the employee.
right.
Part-time, what did we say that was gonna be? How many hours a week?
30.
30 hours.
30 hours, okay. Now, what exactly are we gonna use this employee for?
You guys approved the part-time for the, to taking care the dumpers. And that's it.
Okay.
So what I'm gonna do is actually, I wanna get somebody with some office experience. And I'm gonna have that person, because anyway, whoever comes to the dumpster have to go to the office first and, you know, present the driver license and the light bill. So whoever gets that position is gonna be on the office, helping, answering the phone, this and that. And when somebody come around, she can go, or he can go and open the dumpster.
No?
What do you see as far as hours? Because a lot of people are asking me, are they open on Saturdays and that kind of stuff? So what hours are we talking?
It will be, if it's okay with you guys, 9 to 3:30.
Saturday?
Tuesday through Saturday.
That will cover the 30 hours?
Yes, sir.
9 through what, sorry?
3:30.
To 3:30. It's a half an hour lunch.
So let me ask you, I mean, this is a serious question.
Right.
So this employee, let me see how, make sure I ask it the right way. So this employee has to be able also to, because some people are gonna want to throw all kind of things. So this employee has to be able to calm the situation, because there's probably this employee and that's it. Because there's nobody else working on a Saturday, correct?
Yes.
Okay, just pay attention who we hire, what we hire, and know
Right.
that
Yes.
that they're probably going to be dealing with angry citizens that can't throw their roofing material or construction debris or trees that they just cut, or you know.
And they're gonna have to be stern at that.
Well, you're gonna have information on that particular individual
Do
coming
you have
forward.
signage there that says?
Becky
Yes.
already, yes,
Yeah.
Becky already.
There's the
Well, I know,
signs
but it
out.
helps, it helps. The person can point and say, I'm not making the rules.
You wanna say something?
English and in
Well, I wanted
Spanish.
to know the hours.
Okay.
And also, like, as you said, we have to show identification. So if I have my son come help me clean my junk off of my property, you know, stuff items.
Yes.
So I'll need to come with him, or can I
Yes.
send him with my
And she has the
license? or-
light bill too, you said, right?
Yes.
Very
You're-
important, 'cause
You're
a lot
like
of
showing
people.
that on my phone, because they just send it to me on my phone, they don't.
You
have
just,
it.
I can, as
long
long as I can match it to your ID, we're
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
Yeah. What happened was that we got someone that came in, and he says, well, my father-in-law pays the light bill.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, this is not my rules.
Right.
This is something that the board agreed.
Correct.
Because we've had a lot of landowners that come out here and they wanna dump in our dump,
Correct.
and they're not residents here.
Yeah.
I was like, and that's a problem, because we're the ones paying the bill. And so,
Good point.
our board decided as a whole to not do that. So unless it's with your name, I can't let you do dump. And he was like, well, okay. I'm like, and that's where I left it.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, there's nothing else. I mean, the board is the one that has the final decision, and that was the decision that was made. And I just, you know,
And then they went and dumped on my
Can
property.
we, I was just thinking about that. Can we
They did
have
again?
them,
They did again.
can we have them take a picture of maybe the vehicle when that happens? Take a picture of the vehicle, the license plate, I don't know.
Well, if the vehicle has any signs of contracting or something like that,
Yeah.
it's simple, they don't go in there.
Not just that though, if you
deny somebody-
there's certain items that might be on that vehicle that you may find somewhere else later.
Yep.
And I wish he'd come
Oh,
in.
you mean-
Yeah, because I remember years ago that we've had some issues where these guys were looking at stuff that you know, they recognize from here or there or found someone's mail and some garbage, and they'll go after them.
Right.
I mean, we gotta stop it. We've stopped it before, and it's starting to be a problem again. We gotta stop it. We gotta get aggressive after that.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be some tires around because a lot of people that came in has a lot of tires and we don't allow tires.
Yeah.
Well, I think
And the sad thing is, you can put 4 tires in front of your garbage can
And they don't
every
take them.
time, and they'll take them.
no, I've been hearing from residents. They've said that they put them out there and that they call.
I buy rims on a daily basis, and
No, if you put 2
I
tires,
put 4 out there every time, and they'll take them.
yeah, I always put 2.
Okay.
And, well, not always, whatever I got, a couple tires, I put it in the front. And as long as they don't have rims on it, they'll take it.
Really? Okay.
I got an idea.
I had like 3 people come into the office just
Okay.
recently.
All right.
And they're like, well, we put our tires out. Nobody. I said, did they have the rims on it? Yeah, they did. I said, they're not gonna take it.
Right.
Take the rims off and leave the tire, and I guarantee you that they will pick it up. And sure enough, the next week they came. Yeah, you were right.
I mean,
They're putting the
Yeah.
tires out, but they were putting it with the rims.
we need to pick up all the tires around Montour and start leaving them in front of people's garbage.
Yep.
And that way we don't have to pay. Solve the problem right there. What's wrong with that?
Not mine.
They
You can leave 2 at my house as long as they pick them
like
up. I
my
don't care.
empty lot, so you might as well keep it going.
It's something to think about. Anyway,
That's one way to do it.
Unless you wanna plant flowers in it, then you can leave it
I
from
don't know what he's talking about. They'll come by and pick it up.
gentlemen.
Here's the popo.
Yes, sir. Y'all come around up here, don't even sit down. Anybody, where, I forgot what we're.
y'all got for us? Everything?
We,
There's community outreach going on here about the sheriff's.
Okay.
just keep your hands up high, that's the way I like it. Okay, listen, we were discussing our right-of-ways.
Okay.
Are you aware, I haven't had this conversation with the sheriff department in a long time, but there's reservoirs here that were protected for 4-wheeler use. Are you aware of that?
Yes.
They're not anymore.
No.
No, we just stopped it.
Oh, y'all stopped it?
Yes, sir. So we want law enforcement, roads, everywhere, 4-wheelers. They're tearing up this place.
That's how it was put out on the Facebook website.
Yeah, our sheriff is also
He
no
says-
more tolerance.
And I will call him tomorrow, because I know him very well.
He actually put out the resolution where Henry County fails to accept a state law that allows the operation of ATVs on certain roadways. So we
Yeah,
don't
they're-
even accept it as a county.
Okay, well, guys, all I can say is, I think everyone here appreciates it. We gotta get after them, because they're just destroying our road. We're having road problems, we're trying to keep up, and everybody sees them spinning donuts, ripping and roaring,
All
and,
day long,
Yeah.
all day long and all night long. So, but while I'm up here, this is y'all's new deputy. This will be the last meeting I'll be at.
What?
So,
Boo.
yeah, so,
Phone number.
but the,
Same one.
and I turned my keys over to him.
Okay.
So,
Same phone number.
and with that being said, we got the sheriff's blessing. The other, I don't know how long ago it was, he towed eight ATVs out of here.
Wow.
And that doesn't even put a dent in it.
No.
oh no, it's a
No.
big problem.
No.
Yeah, no, it's a huge problem.
All you have to do is sit on the corner Friday afternoon, right there at, and you can see them, they're coming in from all over the South Florida, just, I mean, 3 and 4 packed up on a trailer, 4, I mean, it's crazy. And we're having trouble keeping this place, I mean, we're trying to get it back where it's supposed to be, and these guys are working as hard as they can, and we were talking to somebody that said he's seen them spinning in front of him. I've seen them on my road, just going around and around.
They'll spin in front of us and we'll chase them, and which our chase policy is wide open, so we are allowed to chase again. It was shut down for a little bit.
Right.
But now it's back wide open. The deal with that, you're not gonna catch an ATV cutting down the canal banks, unless you got, another ATV that's gonna keep up with it, or 2, you got a couple of different bodies out here, we can block them in and everything.
Yeah.
So, but we're wide open and we have no issues with towing, ticketing, and taking people to jail on it. So,
That's good.
and it's not just here, they're having the same issues in Pioneer, we're having the same issues in town.
Well, it's hard, it's an issue everywhere.
So what do y'all, how do y'all usually address it when you see it? Because again, some of these people probably bought property they don't know. Do you like give them a warning the first time, or say, hey, you know what, this is the law, and we're
No,
going to start implementing it?
About a week and a half ago, I had two guys, I was at Mary Lou's, they pulled up there, got gas. They got on 833 and shot down to a hunting club. So I gave chase and I ended up finally getting them stopped. And they're like, we're allowed to ride out here. And I said, buddy, I said, you're going over 70 miles an hour down the road. And they're like, yeah, but that's why we bought land out here. And I'm like, you're 19 years old. What piece of land did you buy? Well, my dad. And I'm like, well, just so you know, I said, go ahead and call Dad, let him know your bike's getting towed. I said, they'll be up at Cecil's Tow Yard in town. And I said, here's some tickets. I said, no driver's license, no insurance, unregistered vehicle on the roadway. And he's like, you really got to do all this? And I'm like, buddy, I've been behind you lights and sirens for a while. I said, it was a joke to y'all. And they're like, well, you know, they're like, in Dade County, and I'm like, welcome to Henry County. I'm like, you can't just, you're passing cars and everything else. So when we see it, we definitely address it.
Okay.
And a lot of times, again, working the schedule, the 80 hours, and overtime's tight everywhere. I don't know how it is here with your guys or anything, but a lot of times we'll get a call. I'll get a call at the house, and by the time I get out here, they're long gone.
Of
you know.
course, of course.
But by all means, call us. I've actually got with him and talked to him about having some details, bringing in FACIU, which is the Florida Agriculture Crimes Unit, and they have access to four-wheelers and access to bodies. And we can saturate the area, and anybody that's riding a bike that day gets stopped and gets ticketed. And if, depending on the person's attitude, their attitude dictates how deep they want to pay out of the pocket for the tow bill and everything else.
Understood.
So, but whatever y'all need, by all means.
We've tried to make it, over the years, try to make it where you can do, you can ride certain places, but what you just said, I hear it all the time. That's why we bought a lot out here. Yeah, they bought them for $3,000, but they weren't worth nothing, so they can come out here and ride, and they're the problem. I say they, whoever them people are, because they're destroying this place.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And again, these guys are working. As soon as they patch up one road, there's 12 roads and they got to work over the weekend. And
Never mind the four-wheelers have been on the yeah, that's what I'm saying. Already, it's a big job already, and then they're making it work, so.
Yeah. Now, the only stipulation on ATVs, off-road vehicles, private property. If they stay on their lot, by all means.
Of course.
How many people come up here on the weekend and cross over 100 lots? All of them, so.
Yeah, they're not gonna say, if they wanna stay on their lots and rip them all to pieces, that's their problem, but it's not gonna happen.
Now, let me ask you this. With that going into place and being enforced heavily, if people start coming up here to ride in the reservoir, and they start parking trailers and leaving trailers there and blocking the gate and everything like that, are y'all good with being towed?
I would say get them towed, get them out
Y'all are
here.
good with that?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I
Because
would say-
we still have an agreement. I think we still
Right.
have about 8 months left on our agreement. So,
What agreement is that?
just an agreement with Central County
Yeah,
and the
we have a
sheriff's
landowners.
office. A landowner's agreement saying we can act as a representative. Instead of having to call y'all, say, can you come sign this, or.
Right, yeah, that's the,
Empowered them.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
okay, that's, and that'll be the next thing. We haven't got it all together, but we gotta do something about the reservoir, because we're gonna lose it if we don't do something. They're piling in there,
Well,
8 or
they're
10
staying
vehicles
in
with
there
one
all
key.
weekend,
Yeah. These guys went there cleaning up, and they were throwing trash right behind them. Didn't care, told them they didn't care, that's what they were there for. So that's gonna be the next one. But right now, if we can take care of this and then give us time to get a plan on the reservoir, we're definitely gonna get a plan. And we may have a chance to talk about this evening if we get our meeting going. I'm not helping that, but anyway, we gotta do something different. Definitely. Can't do the same thing and expect a different outcome.
We just need you guys to enforce it.
Yeah.
Hey, all day
Enforce
long.
it every weekend, just enforce it.
And
The word gets out, they'll
well,
start.
that's what we were hoping when we started towing them and everything. And you towed one, 6 more fly by you.
Yeah.
And it's, so we're definitely working on it. And like I said, we get some details together and bring in some bodies with some bikes and stuff that can run people down, and that'll curb it a little bit, and maybe word of mouth to get out about that.
For sure.
So,
Okay. And Saturday, I guess Saturdays is the big day around here. Right, Saturday?
Friday night, Saturday.
Fridays, yeah.
yeah, that's,
Unfortunately. so-
if it was up to me, where I was allowed to work my schedule, I would work Friday at 12 o'clock, all the way through till Sunday night, because that's our busy times. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, nights, and the weekends are absolutely crazy. So that's our peak hours out here. So,
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Sir, can I ask you?
And talking about
You were
the-
talking, right?
Yeah, talking about the reservoir,
Yes.
we just ordered another 3 locks, because they went through 3 locks already.
What do you mean by that, bro? Sorry.
They broke,
They broke 3 locks.
they broke 3 locks already. And those locks are $70 each,
Park your vehicle, get lots of money. That's
just so you know.
Don't forget to spot.
Access points are there.
it's
One.
gonna be the same.
They've broken that lock 3 times.
3 times.
Both of them are the same name.
2768.
Yeah, we
There's gotta
gotta
be
do
another
something.
way.
Oh, listen, there is. First of all, a bigger, stronger gate, and then encase that lock, we have them encased. Is it encased in something?
Yes,
Where you can only get your hand in it?
you can barely get your hand in
And
there,
it's broken.
It's like that now.
and they still went through
drilled
it,
out the
yes.
whole key.
Oh, okay, they drilled out the bottom.
Yeah, they drill 2 holes on it,
Four of
and
them carried
It
them
was a
over
park.
the gate.
I told you.
Four guys, each one in a
Yeah.
SUV, carry each one over.
So you make a bigger gate. That's what I'm saying. You make a gate. If it's gotta be 10 foot tall and drag the ground this far from the ground, and then you gotta find, believe me, there's a way to make an enclosure that they can't break.
They came all the way up.
Because that's what we got to do when we got animals moving in there.
Why can't we-
Yes, sir.
I don't know if y'all want to start talking about the reservoir or not. I got a couple ideas. I was talking to some of the other guys.
Hold on to them until we get to the end of the meeting, because these guys are gonna kill me. 'Cause I'm on the reservoir thing. Anyway, all right, I'm sorry. Go ahead, back to Hermania.
okay, like you mentioned, we've been through hell with the roads. We did 26 roads this month, including emergencies here and there. We're already using the box blades that we bought,
Good.
so which is helping
Good.
a little bit more.
Awesome.
We have 3.5 inches of rain. The Kubota tractor, the old Kubota, the one that we've been fixing with the other one, is already done. The transmission is gone on it.
That's a 14-year-old equipment.
16 years old, yeah.
Benny, that's a 16-year-old equipment.
Yeah. We've been fixing it.
It did well, huh?
Yeah. It was down when I got over here, and then we used the other one to fix that one, and it works for a little bit. Actually, it worked a lot, but right now it's gone.
How many hours does it have on it?
I really don't know because the thing is broken on it. So
It was up there.
I don't know.
It was up there when it was
I
working.
don't know.
What size tractor is it?
That's a 4-cylinder Kubota.
Oh, it's
It's a 90.
Not gonna hurt terribly.
I think it's 90 horsepower, right?
Yeah, I think it was
90, 95.
It was barely struggling to pick up the bush blow.
Yeah. So it's gone.
So how many we only bought one, right? Right, fellas? We only bought one with a sidewall, right? So
Yeah, I have the 5100E, which is a John Deere that was bought about 5 years ago.
Yeah, right.
And so we already start mowing. So I have no choice but rent another John Deere.
we told you to rent
to
it. You
keep
gotta
up
rent it.
with
You
it.
gotta keep going, yeah.
Yeah.
So how many tractors did we have mowing? Can I get a list of all the equipment we have?
Yes, sir.
That'll be easier, because otherwise we can do this all day.
Yeah, we're supposed to have 3
We're
trucks.
supposed to have 3. Right now we only
Mowing?
have 1 that belongs to us.
One
and,
rental?
And 1 rental.
What's it gonna cost to fix the transmission on that tractor?
I have no idea. It just went off. We haven't figured it out
If
yet.
it's a boat, I imagine it's not cheap. I'm just wondering, I mean,
Is it worth it?
well, what kind of shape's the engine in? How many hours? That's why I asked about the
It's
hours.
a 16-year-old.
I don't know about the hours. The tractor is really old. It's really raggedy. We were able to run it a little longer using the parts from the other Kubota that was down for a long time, but it finally decided to give up, I guess.
Can you look and see what a new one costs? The same thing, cost, rent, lease, whatever.
Okay.
See where we got it. The summer's coming. We gotta do something.
Yeah. It's $70,000 for a Massey Ferguson and $110 for a new John Deere.
That size.
6110. Yes. And the Massey Ferguson price is with the trade-in of the old boom mower.
together.
Get quotes, leases.
Gotta get them
The
together.
ones that you guys have, they're still active because I call everybody and I make sure, and they say that they will honor that, yes. I mean, I can get a new ones if you guys want to, but
So you're telling me it's gonna cost us $70,000 to replace that tractor? I heard what I wanted to hear. I don't know, what was it?
well, if you guys decide to buy a tractor, if I don't mistake, the quote for a new Massey Ferguson, which we had a lot of trouble when we rent one,
Yeah.
it was $70-something thousand.
See, I knew I heard 70. I like that
Okay.
number. Okay, yeah.
Right, now, the quote for the John Deere 6120M, which is the one we just rent, is 110. Of course, it's a way bigger tractor and
What did we pay for that last John Deere that we bought 4 years ago?
I don't know.
Becky, look it up whenever you get
But
a
it
chance.
was underpowered. Now, John Deere told them that if we were using that to push a bush hog, it is not made for that. They had problems
Right.
with it. It cost a lot of money because of that.
I just been telling the guys to mow no more than 2 miles per hour because otherwise we would
Yeah.
tear it apart.
Definitely gotta have, make sure that everything's matches. Yeah, you don't want, you don't want something that'll barely get the job done.
Right.
I like to buy something a little bigger than what you need to get the job done.
Right.
So you're not running it at full capacity, you're not killing it the whole time.
Well, that 5100E is actually only 75 horsepower on the PTO.
5100.
And we need,
That's
we
what we have
need,
now.
yeah, we need no less than 95 for those 15.
And that 6120, the John Deere.
6120M is 115 horsepower.
Yeah, that's why it's so expensive.
And that's why it's cost $150,000.
Yes, sir.
And the John Deere we have, you've had good service out of it? Because I will tell you, in my world, Deere is king. It's
Right.
it's worth the money.
Well, it is good. It's a good little machine, but if we run her a little faster, you'll get hot pretty soon.
Well, because you got it overloaded though.
Yeah, with the
So, I mean, you can
with
do
the
that with
bushel.
anything.
Yes. So we've been mowing with the other one, with the big one, and you can mow at 30 miles per hour if you want, and it still get it done the right way.
So the Kubota, was the Kubota enough? Do we have to go to a bigger tractor?
The
I want to
Kubota
get
was
what we
good.
need, but I'm trying to keep the money down too.
Yeah, the Kubota was good. The Kubota was 95 horsepower.
And you said another Kubota was, or you didn't look at Kubota?
There's one Kubota that has been there for
Before I started.
maybe 10 years or so, that it has a engine blow. So we've been using, when I started over here, both Kubota was down. So me and Pedro went and started replacing parts using the blowout Kubota, and we got this one running. So at that point we have the small John Deere with that Kubota. And it was good until now.
Yeah, but to replace the Kubota, have we looked at another one? If it's 16 years old, and we got that much service out, they're pretty good tractors.
Yeah.
To replace
I can
it
get
with
a quote
another
from the
Kubota?
Kubota.
What is that? What would cost
What's
would
it
that
cost?
be? Maybe it's less than the John Deere if we get the right.
I can call Sabrine dealer and we
I
can
would
get
ask
an estimate for
I
that.
would ask them. I like the Deere, but it's expensive.
Yeah, it is.
Whew.
Yeah, but don't think the Kubota are much less. I remember 4 years ago, a salesperson from the Kubota came over here and he explained everything right. And I think it was like $100,000, something like
It
that.
was close. It wasn't. It's a lot cheap. It's a little bit cheaper than John Deere, but it was. I think Glades County just swapped over from John Deere to Kubota, and they're hating it.
Yeah, for a little bit, I would.
They're
do it.
kicking themselves in the butt for doing a Kubota. They should have stayed with John Deere, but John Deere's kind of went up a little bit more, and they're a little bit more technological now, and
Yeah,
it's
John
hard
Deere
for their
is-
mechanics to work on because
There is not the tractor it
computerized.
used to be. I can tell you, still the best, but
Yeah.
it's not the tractor it used to be. Those 4250s you couldn't kill.
No.
Well, let's go through the routine, prices, leases, and I guess we'll look at it next meeting.
Yeah, we'll make a decision at the next meeting because next meeting is,
I'll get everything new from everybody just to,
Right.
we got everything fresh.
continually reporting.
Okay, all the guardrails on Cabbage Palm has been done already. the one on Del Sur, Camino Real, and Montura.
You need to put on the Camino Real one. you need
Yeah,
to
we're
put
still missing the,
reflectors, yeah.
yes, yes. We are up to date with covers, inspections, and all that. We still are picking up trash around Montura, not as it was, but we're still picking up a lot of tires and mattress and all kind of stuff.
They're on his house, and his lot.
Um,
I'm sorry, I should have.
Good news about the clubhouse, the pool deck is on the last little touches. It's already done. We just need to replace all the sign tiles, you know, no diving, the feet, you know, little details on that. The whole pump station on the little pool is replaced and with a new gel cage, so nobody take it again. So,
Talking about the clubhouse,
right,
around the perimeter, the fence,
right.
you need to clean up all that around the fence. You need to trim the trees that are touching the fences. Hurricane season is coming up.
Yes.
And you need to start cleaning up the grounds. Those
Yes, sir.
trees, bring them up to code. But around the fence, both inside and outside, the whole perimeter, you need to
Okay.
touch that up and clean it. I don't know if you want to use Roundup. I don't know what you want to use, but you got to clean it up.
I think we already sprayed it, right?
We sprayed
Yeah, we
already.
sprayed already.
The whole thing is sprayed.
Yeah, the whole thing is being sprayed
Well, I
already.
drive by there twice a day, and the Camino Real did not do anything then if you sprayed it.
How long ago?
We sprayed like a week ago, right?
We just sprayed,
Give
not
it-
not that way because the mower, we can't get too close with the mower. So then we just spray whatever we can and whatever
But
around.
you're not mowing it and then spraying it? Yes?
No,
Okay.
we
Spray
spray
it,
it
leave it
first
alone.
and then
Leave it
mow.
alone.
But
Yeah.
but you gotta, if you spray it, you need to give it 10 days minimum
Yeah,
before you touch it with a mower, otherwise it
we're
won't
gonna
work.
get it with the weed eater.
Okay,
We got a
well,
weed
whatever.
eater
That-
2-3
that-
weeks ago.
Because remember, that's a systemic, it's gotta go through the plant, it's gotta suck in
Yeah.
the poison. If you chop it off, you've done it for nothing. Okay.
Right.
And the
Okay.
signs on our right-of-ways, all the signs on the electrical, take them down.
The signs.
Signs.
Yeah, I gotta
Signs that.
Oh, the-
signs.
The Glades electric poles. all
Yeah,
signs.
the
signs.
lock cleaning, all that stuff. Yeah.
Everything is on our right-of-ways, take them down.
That's a good point.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
And the
So,
culvert on the southeast side of Hacienda and Camino Real is clogged up.
Damn, Bruno, you got some time in your head, huh?
I drive by there twice a day with a bus.
yeah,
And the mowers do not go over driveways.
yeah,
Do not go over driveways, the mowers.
okay.
Please.
Please.
Yeah, I explained it to them.
I got
already.
some scars on mine. I hadn't said anything.
Well,
Yeah.
it's not on mine, I mean,
Yeah, mine is,
I drive in a high vehicle and I see it all the time.
They do hit it from time to time, whatever they don't raise quick, but
They should
I
not
know
go
what you're
over-
talking
They
about.
should not go over a driveway, that's a private
Right.
property, you tear it apart, you
Yeah.
gotta pay it.
Yeah,
Next
I got
time I'm
I
letting
got
you
a
fix mine.
tin-in culvert.
yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Wait, hold it.
Those my, for this meeting, those are my issues.
Okay.
You got any
You
issues?
got them all written down?
As far as the clubhouse, so we're still on for the April 9th, the stuff coming?
Yes.
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 What about the other?
Yes, right? The
Yes.
What about
It's me.
what about the other equipment? Is there any other equipment that's coming out that's not operable? Because there were some things that had broken.
Yes, we're still gonna take out the Indian and the cowboy and the metal slide.
Okay,
We're still gonna take them out. We haven't taken them out yet.
no, that's fine.
Waiting for the new playground so they have something to play with.
Okay.
It's not gonna, it's not gonna do anything. Once the new playground is already in, which, by the way, the old one is already gone. We took it out.
Okay.
Then we're gonna proceed and take the Indian, the cowboy, and the metal slide.
And you're gonna replace it with what?
We just gotta buy new ones.
And then what about did we ever get the permit to put all the wood around?
Mr. Bennett is already working on that. Yes.
All right. Mr. Bennett, I've been asked like 2 months already. I've been asking this question like 2 months.
We got it measured up, and we're working on the plans for the permit right
Okay.
now. And,
Are we doing this in-house?
Once I see what is gotta be done, it will probably be done in-house depending on how many projects we got,
Okay.
but it will probably be in-house.
Okay. And then the last thing is, there's a tractor sitting in the front.
Yes,
It's been out there for a good time. Is
3
there a
or 4
reason?
months.
Is there a reason for it?
That's our support, no.
Huh?
That was
It was there.
Thanksgiving decor.
It was there for Thanksgiving, and after that, it's an antique, whatever. So I decided to keep it out there. It's just,
Okay.
you know, it's an antique. But if you guys don't like it, I can bring
No,
it
no,
back.
no, I was just
have no
asking, I was
problem with that.
wondering if, because with all the equipment that we need operating, I was wondering if that was one of them that needs to be operational.
Yeah, that's.
Put it to
No,
work.
no.
Hey, that
You
thing's
can't
antique,
operate it.
but that thing runs good.
It's
I
got a
think it
bush
runs
hog
better
on
than
the back,
John
so I was
Deere.
No,
wondering.
it doesn't. No, it
No,
doesn't.
it would used to.
The other thing I forgot was the lighting.
Trust me, I would
Yeah.
be mowing with it.
And the other thing I forgot was lighting. You got lights that are out.
Yes, I was told today. Yes,
You were told today?
yes.
See there? Man's on the ball.
Well, Glades Electric came out less than a month ago and was supposed to fix those. 2 days later, they were out already.
Yeah, they fixed it and then they were out. 2 days
Yeah.
ago.
2 days later.
But drive around and there's an awful lot of lights out.
Okay,
And we're paying for them.
right.
Yeah, they went
I'll
out.
write it down.
Right?
I'll write it down.
On my route, I got 4 of them.
Okay. So also with the pool
I
area,
got that route.
What was that?
That route's
You
gonna
gotta figure
go.
out what your route
I
is.
know which one is. My son goes with
Go,
him.
boy.
He knows my route.
My son goes with him, so I know. Also by the pool area, just today they finished installing a new service pole with a LED light
Good.
to the pool, both of them.
Good.
And they're gonna come back, the guy says either this week or next week, Monday, to replace all the electrical balls and everything on the main sign on 833.
Tomorrow.
Oh, okay, tomorrow.
Yeah,
So
I
they're
spoke with
gonna
James.
take all that out and put LEDs on top facing down, so we don't have to replace those balls every 2 or 3 days.
Mhm.
So all that's
Anytime
gonna be
there's
done.
moisture that it's gone.
Well, you got anything to say about the clubhouse?
And the pool's gonna start next week. I mean, the roof,
The roof,
That was gonna be
yes.
my question, but the roof.
it's gonna start next week. I spoke with Clyde Johnson.
Good. Well, so are we, when, because I had some people call me, it's like, hey, the pool hasn't been open.
Right.
And, so when do we expect our pool to be up and running?
As soon as all the construction stop in the pool,
Yes, sir.
they already been working on cleaning it up, the chemicals are right. It's just a little details and the pool will be open.
When do we normally open the pool?
We normally open on spring break and then we close every weekday and we only open on the weekends.
So right now, normally we would be open.
Weekends.
Only on the
On the
weekends.
weekends, spring
Yeah,
break's gone.
Right.
And it was closed or open then?
Closed.
close,
Do
yes.
the repairs.
And then we go back and as soon as the school ends, we open every single day. Until the second week of November.
Well, when school starts, it closes on the weekdays and then it opens on the
Yes.
weekends.
Okay.
It'll be September. after all.
Gentlemen, anything else?
Okay.
No, I'm good.
All right, go ahead.
Well, the FEMA project, we already talked about it, right? There's been 2 of them obligated. The total amount so far is 47,000,
Yeah.
13,000. It's a total of how much, Becky?
It's gonna be 70,000.
I love the number 70.
It's more coming. It's more projects that
But
hasn't
those are
been.
the two
Use it to
projects
pay
that
the
are
traffic.
obligated, that means that that's
I'm
the
sorry?
money that we're gonna
Use it to
receive
pay the
so far.
traffic.
Out of we got 6 projects.
So that hurricane's been over like a year and something ago. Have we
September
received
10th.
any funding from?
Those are the first 2 that we're gonna start
That's the
receiving
first 2
funding
checks that
from.
we're gonna get first. Yes, but there's still more projects pending.
Yeah.
That they're gonna,
Projected to ultimately get about 280.
I think we
The
calculated
last number that I saw was 247.
247.
And that was by the grant portal,
Yes,
because I have access to it.
Yes.
problem.
But that's money we have already laid out to repair those issues? Or is that reimbursement for repairs that we have done, or
So
that's
FEMA is a reimbursement program.
Yes.
So if we, and these guys, man, they want to see every piece of paper, every invoice,
You're absolutely correct.
everything.
Oh, tell me
has to
about
be
it.
documented.
Tell me about it.
It's unbelievable.
And you usually never get, you never really get 60-70% of that.
Well, we didn't ask like for a crazy amount. I think what we asked for is pretty doable according to the
Okay,
FEMA consultant.
okay.
Which, by the way, the money we pay to the FEMA consultant is also reimbursed.
So that
So we
money's
can
been
use that money,
spent.
we use that money to buy equipment.
I see where he's going. So
Yeah.
that money has been, John, that money's been
We
spent.
budgeted $300,000 is, you call it FEMA reimbursement
Right.
expense, so you can do what you want with it.
It ain't lasting long right here now, but.
John Deere.
You better
I
get
see
all
John-
300
There
of
goes
it.
the,
I see John Deere all written all over it, okay.
And the last thing I got, which I want to say thank you for Mr. Swindle. It was kind of scary, but he did took me into his airplane
You bad boy.
over.
oh, so you were the one flying the other day by the
Yes.
house.
Oh, not me, Swindle.
I know.
I was next to him. We went over canal number 10 on Woodland. There is no covers, there is no pumps, there is nothing. Nobody's pumping through canal number 10.
And that means, wait, is that,
North of Pancon.
that's perimeter though, right? There's not,
Yeah.
No, that's on Woodland.
now number 10, I'm lost.
Yeah, on
There's a
Woodland.
ditch behind Woodland.
You know that?
Oh, the back side of
Yeah,
Woodland,
the
the
back
north
side.
side.
Yeah, it runs to the farm.
Okay.
Siboney.
That's
the
hard
other
ditch,
side
right?
of Siboney, yes.
That's hard ditch.
Yes.
So what
I
do we,
was able to see that from the fence of the orange grove, we still have about 25 to 30 feet to the canal.
yeah,
And then the canal is coming. But their V ditches are actually about 100 feet away from our canal. So there's no way, I mean, you can see, there's no covers. The only thing they have is this little trash pump with maybe 6 inches hoses to fill up the vents, spray, you know, those,
right.
and that's it. That's everything it was.
But when it rains, we'll see. There's water is coming in from somewhere.
Oh, I know that.
We'll have to,
but
and we may have to wait till it rains again and get what's his name to fly you back over there again.
Swindle.
Yeah, get Mike to fly you over there again. But I'm serious. Water's coming in, and it ain't just us. There's people over there that are fighting mad now in Flagler, and some of them have already got attorneys waiting, and it's going to be a big deal the next time that water, because somebody's putting water on somebody's property that's not supposed to.
I thought it was Flagler putting water over here.
Well, also, I know some people in Flagler right now that his place is being flooded. They're bringing, the water's coming from the groves. Now, I'm not going to name call, but the guy told the guy, the next time I'm coming to get you. Because now he says it's coming from the big grove. Again, it's a lot of he said, she said, but the best time to do that is when it's raining, when there's a lot of water on the ground, you can see it clearly as day.
Right.
That's how we stop that mess coming across the road.
yes.
Sheet flow, my rear end. Here's film, here's film, here's film. And that's how it got stopped.
Well, we did went over and I mean, I can see pretty good, and I didn't see
Okay.
no covers, no pumping,
Okay.
you know, none of that.
We need to, at some point, we will try to kind of keep that clean. So
Yeah,
we
we're
have
gonna-
access. And when it starts again, we can go look.
Yeah.
Seeing, I mean, it's simple. There's no water coming in from there, and we have everything cleaned up and keep the place down right, that's good. But I guarantee you, you're gonna find water coming in somewhere.
All right.
One more question. So we are, because man, believe me, they blow up my phone. I even have a neighbor. I've got one neighbor right here lives down my street. I have a neighbor right in front of me says, "Man, it's a shame you're on the border and our road looks like this." And she lives on the front. You don't have to drive on what we have to. Where are we at? Because I get bombarded with that.
Right now,
Yes, sir.
we were able to finish the Sur all the way
Okay.
to 833,
Okay.
And we're still patching a few emergency roads
Okay,
after all this rain.
understood.
And hopefully tomorrow we finish both Cypress and Romero, and we will start on Montura on Monday.
So when you say we start on Montura, are we starting in the front or here on the back side? Where do we start?
We're starting from Cabbage Palm, the same way the sur, all the way to 833.
So you're gonna start from Montura, Cabbage Palm that way?
Yes,
Also,
sir.
you're gonna start right here?
Yes, sir.
On Cabbage Palm and work down?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It goes a lot faster because the dirt is right here, so we can do these ones a lot of
Some
faster.
people
Even
will call
though,
me a liar when I talk to them. I'm getting beat up about these roads, man.
yes.
Yeah, that's,
Oh, and we also
I
using,
brought it up, okay? You heard me. They can beat me up on these roads, man.
and we also using those box blades that you guys, allow me to buy. So
I know it's probably not right, but if I had a piece of equipment, I'd do my own road, believe me.
Okay.
But all right, thank you.
okay, you
I have
will.
a resident. You have a question.
yes.
I have a question. I live on Dadle. I drive about the road all the time. It's on North Dadle. They went through there with a grader or something and graded, but there's been no fill at it or nothing, and it's still, I mean, it looks better than it looked last week after that little rain.
Thank you.
After that little rain,
Yeah.
the people coming down went crazy on the road. I mean, it was bad. There was no sleep in my house from the four-wheelers. We already covered that.
What part of Dado is this?
I'm on 615 North Dale between
So
Bob
you're on the
Cypress and
north
Elmwood.
So you're
Yeah,
the
we
big,
just-
you're on the front side then?
Yes.
Well, you have to wait your turn, because you gotta get to us. But I've been waiting patiently.
Hey, exact, I've told them about this, remember the last meeting? I said, go down Horse Club, make a right turn in Dado.
Right.
Occasionally, I drive through there with my bus. And I seen that.
And it's bad.
But you hear what you just said.
Right.
We had a
that
similar
discussion a
conversation.
half hour ago.
We had a similar conversation,
An hour.
him and I, about this. So she appreciates the fact that you see, however, what happened?
That makes
Four-wheelers dug
it
it.
good.
See, because I'm telling them, they're trying to do things right one time. And I'm telling them, well, the box blades, push ahead and just try to knock some down and make it easier to go down
Yeah, I think it
until
was yesterday.
they get a hold of it. But you're telling me the four-wheelers dug it all up?
Not
Well,
yet, not
oh,
yet.
oh,
The
okay.
next little- It's not all fixed where the four-wheelers had done.
Okay.
You know, I'm okay with it just smoothing over, but there's still some,
Right, at some point, we're gonna have to do
it needs
more.
to feel bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just told them that.
I went back.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
went
for
back
now.
over there to check, and there's one
It's that one big hole,
like
but
in the
that's
middle.
not my house.
Yeah,
I know what you're
but
talking
with the
about.
box blade, we can.
Well, there's so much to do. If you actually did it all 100% with the feel and everything, by the time you get
Yeah, that was
it
done
will be
already.
dead and gone. So I told them, I said, just with the box blades, hit it. The,
Yeah, I mean,
the,
it
the
helps
manholes
a
are
lot.
gone. The little whoopie doos are gonna be
Yeah.
there, but
It helps a
sooner or
lot,
later,
don't
yeah.
get me wrong.
Okay.
Now, that big hole is right across the street from Felix, old
Yeah.
home, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I know what
But
that is.
Felix
they,
Diaz.
Yes.
the people, I mean, sheriff's here, they fly down that road. Like nothing, down Dadle, because it's a through road, all the time.
And that
It's
beats them out
70
too.
miles an hour.
Yeah, that beats them out.
That's where we need our law enforcement to get them damn tickets.
Right,
Yeah,
I
they-
offered my
they need
yard,
to enforce
everything, where,
this.
just sit there and watch them.
I offered my oak tree, not a
I got
problem.
those trees too, so,
On
yeah.
a paved mayoral between Camino Real, and when they hit Camino Real and hit, but you can hear them hit the, hit
You can hear
the
'em hit it,
floors.
they're
I
sliding.
sit out there every day for my vitamin D, and I'm telling you, that joker's hitting 70, and he'll hit them brakes before he
Shoot
hits the Del Sol.
Shoot at him.
We had,
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna get a beat. Well, I could. I got a Glock. That's not a problem. But I'm gonna get me a good, high, powerful BB gun. I am. And I'm gonna do some.
Hey.
I'm gonna do some damage.
He's listening.
Okay.
Just tell me you're,
I'm telling
tell me you're
myself.
kidding.
Yeah, we were just joking. Just joking.
No.
Alright.
Where were we?
It's my dog. and
If
everything.
nobody has any questions, I'm done.
Last one, as far as employees, how many for you? Are we at fully? are
Right now, we
fully
got
staffed?
8. Yes, except the part-time.
Is that including you two? as
No.
well? So that's 10.
We're 10 and 3 more.
Oh, the clubhouse.
Yeah.
The clubhouse, yes.
The part-time was one they were talking about using for, okay.
Yes.
yeah, I think we had, with the total of everybody here, I think it was 9 total.
When you
When it
were
was at full capacity, before Cookie left, it was 9. And after that, it just kind of whittled down to 5 or 6, I think.
Right.
4 actually at
And
one
4 after I
point.
left, so.
4 at one point.
Okay, well, then we'll move on. That's it for you?
Yes, sir.
You just spent all the money, so, district engineer report.
Hey, it's been donated and given from FEMA.
Yeah, I love spending that free winter.
Today I did the annual dike inspection that's required by the South Florida Water Management District. Everything looks fine. We'll get the report done and sent to water management tomorrow. Woodlands, worked with Romeo and they've installed all but 3 of the culverts that we recommended. He's going to be working on those in the next week or so. They're doing a good job replacing those.
Where are the last 3 to be installed?
One more on Jasmine, one more on Deer at the end with Pinecone, and one on Woodland and Flajo. The one on,
Shetland.
right there on the corner.
That's gonna be the toughest one.
On that little, yes, I'm leaving that one for the end.
You're gonna have the MOT, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to put out notices in the newspaper.
Close the road?
Well, the one that's going across that one there, doesn't Henry County got that because of the trucks now?
No, I believe what I've read, they have pine cone.
It's just
Yeah,
pine
Pinecone's all
that's
they
it?
have.
Yeah.
That I can't
If
do.
it goes across Pinecone or Woodland, it's them. But the ones that goes along the road is ours.
That's gonna be.
I was kind of hoping for that. But
Yeah, I was too.
Gotta give them notice there. Okay. All right.
On our resurfacing projects for Hacienda, I spoke with the contractor today. They'll get their signed contract and insurance documents to us next week. And we'll have a pre-construction meeting, and he said that they are prepared to move in fairly soon after that pre-construction meeting. I'm saying within a few weeks.
So by next meeting, we should already been started on.
We should be underway by next week.
Awesome.
That's all I have.
Okay. Any questions? All right, the treasurer's report. We should have done that first when we did all that.
Yeah, so that you can continue with the meeting.
For the month of February, we dispersed $215,770. Our total taxes receivable, $1,400,000. As far as 2018 taxes go, we assessed $1,742,000. And after our collections through February, we're down to $833,559. In February, we collected about $140,000 of current year's taxes, $15,470 of the prior year, a total of $155,450. As far as current taxes, we're behind about $73,000 from the year before. Delinquent ones were behind about $35,000 from the year before. Mr. Mata asked last meeting to show what our total balance is and our payments on the bonds we have at Center State. So I gave everybody a piece of paper that says Center State on it.
Thank you.
Basically, it shows the current balance is $1,725,451. That's the bond we put in the dike. And we make a payment twice a year of $70,984. And it bears interest at the rate of 3.56%.
And also, Mr. Boyd, thank you. And also, this is the one, a few meetings back when Mr. Napoles was here, that he made a motion, all the interest off the one savings or the one money marketing thing go to this.
Yeah, we're gonna make a calculation of how much that is, and then make an extra payment. These are directly deducted from our reserve account, so we'll have to make an extra payment to pay down the principal.
But that's what he's making reference to.
Yes.
This one, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Because the equipment ones are almost paid off.
Bear in mind, this investment that we did has not cost any resident a penny. We're paying this out of our
Out of our money, yeah.
Out of our money.
But
You
which was
remember?
the plan? What's
That was the plan, right?
That's the plan that we left in place.
Right.
Thank God it hasn't changed.
Right.
Yeah.
The only other thing I'll bring up is,
Write a check and pay it.
We are.
Mr. Mata usually asks what percent we're along with the
Yes, sir.
budget, so I figured I'd just start mentioning that.
I appreciate that.
So we're in the month of February, so we're like 42% through the fiscal year. And the budget is about 37%, so we still are okay with the budget
We're under.
so far.
Well, we got some things about to make it.
Bump up soon.
Yeah, we're gonna bump up soon
We're
with the
just
road.
telling you the good news now.
You know, John, he probably hears this all the time. You guys are spending money, you guys are spending money, you guys are spending money. You know, and I tell people, we're not spending money, we're within our budget.
First of all, let me say something. First of all, this is not a savings and loan association.
Right.
This is a
water
group to maintain certain things here. So by keeping money in the bank, and not letting this place run down, you're not doing anything. Because the $1 million it would have done X amount, after you've let it go for 2 years, it won't do X amount, it'll do X amount.
Right.
So we have to spend money. That's what it's there for.
Yeah.
And people get nervous when you say spend the money, but that's what it's here for. It's
But
not
they
to save.
don't understand that.
Well,
You know,
I don't know what to do.
They'll call a board member and say, oh, you guys are spending money, blah, 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 and accusing us like, you know, we don't know what the hell we're doing.
And look at all the crap that's piled up, which we
Same
don't talk
breath
about.
they're saying that, they're saying there's not enough done to the roads and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Right,
You gotta have-
right.
Same breath.
You know, and it gets boring.
And we've never raised taxes. Since I left here, I was here 12
We
years.
haven't raised taxes
Been
in
gone
14
5
years.
years. Yeah, never ever have taxes been
14
raised.
years.
From then to today,
Right.
and we're still getting it done.
That's Gene's fault.
And whose?
Gene's.
Jay Wright.
I mean, so I think that's,
And with that being said, when you're finished, Mr. Boyd, with your report, Mr. Famero, when you get a chance to speak, can you educate the citizens as well as myself even more about where we are now, and if this Monterey was fully populated, where we would be then, so our citizens can really understand how far behind we are the 8 ball. We're really behind. I didn't know we were that bad until we had that conversation. So if you could, on your report, if you could speak on that, so they can actually see the big picture as well. Sorry about that, Mr. Boyd.
I'm through with our report unless there's any questions.
no, sir. That's it.
I appreciate the percentages
Thank you, John.
and what you said. Thank you so much.
All right, we've talked about some of the items in my report, I'm gonna run through quick. We have the canal herbicide maintenance, aquatic vegetation maintenance contract, which is on the agenda, so we've negotiated that contract. I think frankly, we've negotiated a better deal than previously had with these folks.
Yeah.
They realized, this is kind of a good rule of thumb in the future. When we've had these continuing contracts for a couple of years, it's always good to tell the person, we're gonna go out to bid again. And all of a sudden, they get real competitive and wanna hold on to those contracts. And so this is probably a good example of that. And just as the engineer said, we've drafted and negotiated an agreement for the road resurfacing, so we're good to go on that project. I've had, as we discussed briefly before, I had a discussion with the county attorney about the memorandum we have with the county regarding enforcing traffic control jurisdiction on Central County roads. I gave him a heads up that we've got a problem. I may be coming back to him to renegotiate and expand the scope of that agreement. That's obviously, that's up to the county and the commissioners, and we also have to work with the sheriff's office and any agreement with them. But in the end, whatever rules we set, we've got to rely on the county and the sheriff's office to help enforce those rules. We have a part, education, signage, but we got to work hand in hand with them, which we've done before.
Agreed.
I met this afternoon with our supervisor of elections. We had a real good meeting. Actually, we were there for like 2 hours. Very nice discussion, and it was really about getting ready for October of this coming year. So currently we have 5 seats here.
Yes, sir.
Seats 2 and 4. Who is 2 and 4?
Napolis and
Napolis and Denise.
Okay, Napolis and Denise. Those 2 seats are.
General elections.
Right, they're popular elections. So those popular elections are in presidential years.
Okay.
2016, 2020.
Right.
And those occur on election day in November. And those two elections are handled by her office, by the supervisor. And they're handled because she's already doing it.
She's already here.
So there's no extra effort.
Understood.
Or extra manpower, so they do it. Now, seats 1, 3, and 5.
Right.
Yeah. This is a 1 acre, 1 vote seat. And they occur as part of our annual landowners meeting in October. That's one where she says, look, if you want to tell, the busiest month of the year for me as a supervisor is October.
That's right.
I'm getting ready for November.
That's right.
And so I do not have the manpower or the capabilities to help you out. She said in fact, she gave us a bunch of documents, and we have a good relationship. She is available as a resource. If we have any questions, we need anything on elections, procedures, whatever, but she is not in a position to take over our landowners' elections. So that's where we are with the supervisor of elections. The next issue is this whole thing about either proxy voting and mail-in ballots. So a proxy vote is, I fill out a form and I say, I want Benny Alvarez to vote for me. I fill out this form and say, Benny, you got my vote, go vote. That's a proxy. So under the law, proxy voting is allowed. Unfortunately, and there's probably a backstory to it, but when Central County amended its charter in, Jack, what was that, 2013?
2007, I think.
Pardon me?
2007.
2007, Central County prohibited the use of proxy voting. I don't know why.
I can tell you why.
Good.
Because one person was controlling the outcome. There was a person in Montour that was going around getting proxy votes, going to Miami and getting them signed and coming up here. He controlled the board. And they stopped it for that reason.
All right. So, because it's frankly unusual for most water control districts allow proxy voting. And one thing that's important here, and I don't know the exact numbers, but we have a lot of absentee owners. In other words, people who own land but don't necessarily live here.
The majority.
In fact, it's a majority. And if you look at historically over the last 5 years, the majority of votes, more than 50%, come from absentee owners. So, and as you know, we talked ad nauseum. We had some issues with the last election, and there's an issue with so proxy voting, we have to amend our charter to allow it. That's a decision of the board. If we amend our charter, then we have to take that amended charter and it has to be incorporated by reference into legislation. So we have to bring it. It's not a big deal. This is the kind of legislation a lot of people aren't interested. Our senator from Naples, Kathleen Pasadomo, worked with her before. She'd be real helpful in sponsoring the bill. But there's a process. It's going to take a year to get it done. That's number one. Then mail-in ballots. Okay, that's something that we have done historically, and that's a process that is. So we are what you call a creature of statute. So when you are a city or a county, you have home rule power. That means you can do anything you want unless there's a law that prohibits it. We're the other side of that coin. We are what you call a creature of statute. So a water control district can only do what it's authorized to do in the statute. So for example, we do recreation. Well, there's a line in the statute that says you can do recreation. Correct. You can do transportation, you can do drainage. That's it. Right. We could do other, we could do law enforcement if we had a line that said law enforcement, but it doesn't.
Yeah, we could.
And so unfortunately, when it goes to the election side of things, there's nothing that gives us the authority to allow mail-in ballots, even though I believe it's a good idea for a district like this with a lot of absentee owners. That's going to require legislation. Absent that legislation, so what I just said, no proxy voting because we prohibit it, And there's no mail-in because we need the authority to do it. That means at this upcoming election, that has to be in person. Now,
But this upcoming election is not landowner, it's popular vote.
Popular vote?
No,
It's in
no.
2020.
no, 2020 is the one that's, the next election, which is 2019, is gonna be a district.
We don't have a
We don't
19
have to-
election.
Oh, there is no?
No,
No,
not for
no.
this year.
Beautiful.
It's
We're
next
good.
year.
So
That's
then, I need your authority, your authorization to draft a bill, it's a legislation. It's probably about a page, and this is not complicated stuff. So, as soon as the session's over, and we're more than halfway through the session, so in the late summer, we need to start talking to our representative and our senator to say, can you please sponsor this bill? That gets, you have to make those, you have to complete those conversations in the fall, because in the beginning of the calendar year, those bills start getting filed. And each senator and representative has a limited number, so we gotta get in the queue. And so we're gonna have to do that as in September, October, November. We gotta lock down that stuff.
I'd say let's roll. That's
So
one thing
I need you to
said.
tell me,
Let's
do you
roll.
want proxy voting or not? And do you want mail-in voting or not?
With the experience about the proxy,
I think yeah.
leave
We leave
as
it like it is right
Leave it-
now.
Exactly.
Okay?
And I mean, I can't imagine who in the world would not want,
Absentee.
any election you can have absentee, why wouldn't we here? So let's put it on there.
Yeah. That's
I mean, that's how it's been done for the past
Exactly.
20 years. So
Exactly.
however,
So-
That's how you do the presidency of the United States.
Yeah, and
so-
so we've got a little bit of breathing room, because as we said now, in 2020, the supervisor's gonna run that election. And this is an interesting fact, and so.
what do you mean in 2020 she's gonna run?
She
It's
has
a-
to do
it's a
the
landowner.
popular
I mean, it's a
vote
popular
for, Napolis and Denise, and we have to do yours
And
in
we have-
October.
Yeah, we're gonna have
She
two
does theirs.
separate, because she,
October of next year.
Next year, 2020.
2020, presidential election year, so she's gonna do the popular elected vote
She-
on election day.
Correct.
And
She's
this
done it
is-
before like that.
Check this out, but under her election code, which is, she's got a big election code, she does allow mail-in ballots.
that's what I'm
But
talking about.
That's how she did it.
Yeah, that's how it's been
for
done.
these two
So,
seats.
listen,
She hasn't
we were
changed
with her for a
anything.
couple hours, I walked her through and she realizes why we have a problem. She doesn't have that problem, because as an election, she's got a state law. So we have two sentences in chapter 298 on elections.
Gotcha.
She has 12 pages
Right.
in state law, where so she has huge, so it's ridiculous. The point I'm raising is that it doesn't make any sense that you can do a mail-in ballot if you are elected by popular
Right,
vote.
and you can't
But
do
if
it.
you can't, that makes no sense at all.
Which is where we're going anyway.
So
we
she
can clean
told
it
us
up,
she
so we
would,
can clean it up.
yeah, and, you know, the legislators are gonna check with her to make sure she's kosher with what we're, and she was 100%, you know, for it. So, you know, we've got a clear runway here to get this done.
So you need a
that we don't
motion?
run- Yeah, I'd like to have your authority to go ahead and
Yes.
get it done.
Yes, the motion,
I'll
second,
I'm in favor.
all those in favor, aye. It's yours. First thing I said first night we were here is, I'm not gonna rest till this is done. I want it
Yeah.
done like it's supposed to be, although it's been being
It's the
done.
right thing to do, it makes
Yeah,
sense.
yes,
you know,
and then that way there's no arguing. Although the past boards for the past 15 years here have been elected the same way we were, all of a sudden it became a problem now. Well, with that being said, I'd like to have it on the books.
Right.
And I thought it was.
It'll be bulletproof this
Beautiful.
time. So, last thing is, Mr. Mata has asked, so right now about the taxation. So, those of you, if you own property, you know you get your tax bill every year.
Yes.
And so, school board taxes, see that's a big number.
Yep.
Hendry County taxes, that's a big number. Those are called ad valorem taxes. So you pay, the rate usually remains the same, but if your property goes up in value, under ad valorem taxes, you pay more.
Right.
So if I own a $100,000 house, I pay X. If I own $1 million house, I pay X times 10, because it's a much more valuable property. Here in Central County, and there's probably a reason why we did it, but we do not have ad valorem taxation. We have what's called a maintenance tax. It's a flat fee. It's not even a tax. It's a fee we charge. And so if you have a vacant lot that you don't even walk across but once every couple of years, you pay the same amount of money as someone who owns a home with 8 people living in it. There's no difference. And so, over time, if God willing, property values increase here in Montura, that won't result in any additional revenue coming into the district.
Right.
So, it's a policy decision the board has to grapple with. It's not something that's at our doorstep today.
Correct.
But looking at the future, I think, as a community, we're gonna have to make a decision about how to deal with that. Because if people start building here and if property values go up, there's typically a higher level of service expected by the residents.
Which we have now. Our
You gotta
residents
make
are playing, our
right.
residents are saying, I pay taxes now. So
Right.
can you imagine because I know we're putting permits for culverts out the yin yang. I mean, we've been moving for the last year and a half. So it has come. It is coming.
Yeah, I mean,
So
it's double
Forty
the population.
new homes that I know of is permitted to come into Monterey.
Yeah.
Right now, that's being built to come in.
Listen, if nothing changed, if you got an estimate to improve all of the roads, not pave them,
Right.
improve them, put fill, establish a crown on those roads, it's probably measured in millions of dollars.
Yeah.
So that's today.
We
That's
can't
with
afford it.
nothing else new.
We can't do that now.
can't do that
Much
now.
less if you double the population, we're really gonna be screwed.
Right, so, it's an issue to think about for the future.
Right.
Right now, we're making do with what we got.
We do.
but,
We are.
Yeah.
And that's why I think I came on the board because I see the growth as well as see what's going on. We have to put our eyes, hopefully we don't raise taxes, nobody's trying to raise taxes, but I just want the public to understand is if Montura gets slapped full, if you think our roads are bad now, there's no way we can combat it with our budget that we have now.
But
And I said double it, but you ain't even gotta double it. Just say a third more. We're barely keeping up now, or we're keeping up. So just add a third more traffic. Money's gonna be the same. It's gonna be tough. Can we change the way we tax?
A grader is $500,000.
I'm gonna kill myself.
John, the issue that I have with this flat fee is the commercial buildings that we have here, they pay the same rate as a resident.
Yeah, we gotta do something different.
The commercial,
Same rate as the empty
the
lot.
fish farms, right,
Correct. Same rate as an empty lot.
right.
And that's why people move out here to take advantage, so to
That-
speak, of.
And, yeah,
what we
you're
have.
talking
That's
about,
killing us.
a fish pond operation.
That's killing us.
It's got value, it could be, I don't know, several
They're
hundred
selling one for
thousand.
$2 million.
Several, so are they paying their fair share? They're
No, they're
using
not.
commercial trucks.
No.
Are they paying their fair share?
No.
You could probably argue they're not.
So what do we do to change it?
So changing that is completely up to this board.
Oh,
And
Tell me that.
there were, when I first came on board, I'd never seen this maintenance tax, so I raised it. You just have to, so you could set a tax so that it equals an ad valorem tax, so that it kind of sort of equals the flat fee that's paid now.
What we're paying right now.
And then, but then as property values increase, that number's gonna change.
Right.
We definitely need to have a workshop in the near future. We're trying to maintain what we're doing now because
we can do it for a few more years without any problem.
without
But
a few
after that,
problems,
yeah.
but I just want the community to understand is at the rate we're going and how we're growing, we're gonna have to.
You know what, I'm gonna
Go ahead,
tell you guys that before your term is over,
We're gonna have to deal with it.
you're gonna have to deal with it.
Oh, of course
And-
we are.
and what
Of course we are.
Mr. Mata said is right on, so you're gonna have to do a lot of public education. 'Cause in the end, I think this is, Jack, isn't this a referendum too? It's gotta go to the voters. They got to understand, what's
So it's
the
not up to us.
benefit.
So it's not up to us.
You have, no, just not your vote. I mean, you have to vote to start the process, but ultimately, because it affects everybody, there has to be, it's up for a
It'll never
referendum
pass.
or a vote.
It'll never pass.
It'll
till
never
we're sitting
pass out here.
So we're sitting here, this place is falling apart, it's double the population, the roads are beat out, and that's what's gonna pass. Because there's a lot of people here that have enough sense to realize that, listen, if we change this tax, God knows we're gonna get hit hard. I mean, right now I'm saying this and I'm killing myself, but you know what? I'm willing to pay my fair share. But as everyone else. And a lot of people here do not want.
It's not gonna pass.
They talked about $25 a year one time. You remember that? When we were, and we had this, the whole parking lot was full of people. But somehow we
I
have
would
to
rather
change.
$25 a year than $150 a year.
Well, but somehow the mentality has to change somehow. Because you're right, it's coming. It's coming, and we may see it before we leave here.
You will.
So you can't keep doing what you're doing because it's not going to work. I'm just saying, it's something to think
Maybe
about.
we need to have
Well,
workshops at the
I'll tell you,
clubhouse.
you provide better service and more service, property values are gonna go. You improve drainage here, to really improve drainage. That's gonna enhance your property values.
But see,
It
you have-
takes money.
So
But
watch-
wait, but hold it.
So watch
Drainage
this.
is great here compared to what it used to be.
Yes, sir.
You gotta remember something, I've been here for a long time.
Yes, sir.
And I can tell you, within 3 or 4 days, the water's been down here. Hell, there's places in Naples with $500,000 houses that 2 weeks later were still in the water.
Yes,
So
sir.
our drainage is pretty darn good, I have to say.
Even with
We
the
work-
storms, even
we
with the
worked
storms
hard
we
at it.
had, this last hurricane,
Yeah.
all the flood that we had, and everybody
Yeah.
was flipping out.
You didn't take
I'll
long.
tell you something, when we put those other state pumps in, we still got our water quicker down than Lehigh Acres,
Yes.
than Pioneer,
Yes.
than all the surrounding areas. We were still 2 weeks in advance ahead of them before everybody else's water started dropping.
Yeah, but
And no system, remember
It's
this,
perfect.
no system is designed, well, first of all, no system is designed to pump that kind of water.
No.
It's not designed, because you get these storms once every 10 years, so you figure you can weather them. Nowhere is it designed to pump that much water. So you can't afford the big
So
system.
most systems are designed to protect a finished floor elevation, that's it. Anything below that, all bets are off, including roads.
Yeah.
Well, you were here, John, at the beginning when you started with us here, and that was just right after the hurricane. How they treated the previous manager and how they accused everybody on this board and how they, all
Well,
the
yeah, I
hell
thought
that
there
we
were
went
people
through.
talking about their homes flooding.
Yeah, but this, I'll tell you this,
Not here.
not in Montreal,
Not
I
here.
don't believe it.
No, because
I don't believe it. I drove
There was
around.
not one home flooded.
No, there was only like, well, I think like 2 homes were destroyed because of the storm.
It was in the.
Because of the
Well,
storm,
come on,
and,
yeah.
But that's the storm that
and
had
two
nothing to do
with
the water,
fire.
though.
Two on
Two
fire.
with fire.
Two fires.
Listen,
Yeah.
the water was down
But you
in a
saw
couple
how
of days. It
Well,
was
put it
down.
this way.
that group of individuals
The state-
that he was part of.
The state gave us 7
Don't make me
pumps
cut
to
you.
put up. Okay? Within 5 days, we had 4 of the 7 pumps put up. We couldn't put up the last 2 pumps, we couldn't put them together quick enough because the water was already dropped.
And
There's no
without-
sense of putting the pumps up.
Yeah, and without those
Hey,
two
I
pumps, with everything here running properly, you wouldn't have needed those 2 pumps. Because I was part of putting this in place.
Exactly.
And it's designed to work well.
Yep.
However, it's not gonna take 24 inches in 2 days. It
No.
just, there's not a system in the world designed to pump that much
That
water.
pipe is only gonna pump out.
And
how
you
much
gotta
it's gonna pump
remember,
out.
you gotta remember, in Naples, all in Lee County, up around Orlando area, 2 weeks later, they were still walking in knee-deep water and we weren't. So
Exactly.
we got a pretty good system. Could it be better? Always could be better.
Always.
But it's pretty darn good.
Let me
It's
ask
pretty
the
good.
board, as well as Mr. Famero, a question. Like I said, my wife's been out here all her life, but I built a house in '05. And I was always under the assumption that all 833 was commercial. All certain things are commercial. I see commercial in residential areas. So do we have something in place where, hey, you know what? This is a commercial, because again, we're gonna grow. We have to be ready for a Dollar General, a laundromat, some more restaurants, certain things that communities need to survive.
Yeah.
Do we have it landlocked and land developed Montreux the way it should be?
Yeah, so I've actually, somebody had asked me this question a few months ago, may have been you. So, there isn't.
There
right
isn't?
now. No.
We were working on
The
that.
county,
When I left here.
there is a
We were
way.
working on that when the fish farmers come in.
Yep.
Yeah, we were
Correct.
working on that. We were working on it. The county came in, gave us a little thing, and we had decided the front, we had it all laid out how we wanted. I left after that, and I don't know what happened.
So we can
The
work
county pulled
out a
out.
plan, master plan for this whole community. And the county will adopt it and make it part of their master plan for the county. We can do that. And there's many communities that have done that before. So absolutely, and if the work sounds like the work's been done.
We did it. I remember sitting here discussing it. The county was here. He says the county pulled out, but it was brought up, and it's true. anybody can put anything up anywhere. Two things I want to do, get back to that, and there's gotta be a way for us to adjust these commercial property taxes without even changing anybody else.
Right.
Because,
Thank you.
hey, they're out there making money, they should be able to pay more.
So, Mr.
They're
Ferrell,
building one right now that is 10 acres.
There ain't supposed to
Halfway
be
done
none
already.
built out here.
Yeah.
What is it?
No,
They're building
they stopped it. They
a
have
fish
another-
farm right now. There
They're
is 10
building a
acres.
brand
I
new one
flew
right
over
now.
it. It's
one
halfway
here coming
already,
around?
and it's I don't know how many pools on it.
Yeah, that one.
And they still got half
Wait till we get that tax
to
bill.
keep building.
Wait till we put that tax bill on them.
so how do we go about
Nobody's paying
changing that land development master plan in place and putting something together?
It's a
So we
matter
can
of
be better
starting the
prepared for our
dialogue
future.
with the county.
Yeah. They were here before. They were here.
You know what happens? You know what happens?
It was almost done.
They come out here and present their project, and then the board doesn't make a decision, and they get tired of coming in here and.
Yes, ma'am.
As a taxpayer,
Yes, ma'am.
first of all, ad valorem, and I'm probably gonna get flogged, would be the best thing that could happen to this place. And number two, why is it that the community allows commercial with residential? You know, because I
There's no
know we're
plan.
agriculture, I
There's
know
no
that.
plan. There's
But I'm
no plan
saying,
here.
we need to do something because number one, commercial, you need to be paying way more than me sitting up there in my little home on my little 1 1/4 acre here.
Yes, ma'am.
And where I came from, which Mr. Moxley knows where that was at,
Right.
when you had a commercial piece of property, you wanted to do commercial, you had a 300 feet variance.
Right.
And you got to have permission from them three, whatever owners there was in that 300-foot variance. And that's something to think about, you know, if you want to come and put a commercial. Because I'm not a happy camper where I live. And my brother, and my neighbors, my brother-in-law, we keep our property real nice. And I like that, okay? Because I don't want to live like no pig. But right around that corner, it looks like a bunch of pigs because it's, he decides he wants to be a mechanic. So let's just hoard everything in the world because he's a commercial because he's got him a business there.
Mike Swindle.
No, I'm saying, as far as ad valorem taxes, I mean, that's what we're gonna go with.
Right.
You wanna put up a business, go for it. But guess what? You're gonna have to have restrictions about the property owners you have to send a letter to that you pay for,
But
not
listen,
the
we
board.
can't, I don't think we can restrict that. That's the county's part. We can raise the taxes, but we can't restrict what he does. If he sets up a mechanic shop, we've been through this before. That's the county. They came out here with code enforcement. They were gonna clean house. They had 3 people here and they started. And not long after that, I went to see the lady and she told me we were told to turn it down.
Well, I
And the
understand
next
what you're
thing you know,
saying.
she left, he left, and it was over.
And I understand what you're saying.
You know who made
County.
made that decision?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. We don't have that power. We have the power to raise taxes
Well, hit them
or
with the
change
taxes
them.
in. It'll stop a
Then
lot.
That's what
There's
we're talking
enough
about.
voters here, let me tell you, they're not paying attention to Montura, they're making a mistake.
Yeah.
People, I mean, there's a lot of folks out here, voters.
Yeah, but they look at Montura as the white elephant.
Yeah.
And then also it doesn't help when citizens of Montura say, I want to keep Montura. What does that
Yeah.
mean?
They don't want anything to change.
They want the 14 vehicles in the backyard with no tags. And I mean, I see some properties now. I can't believe that code enforcement
That allows it.
allows
No.
We got people that
Code
come out here and
enforcement,
camp.
with the new gentleman that's been with code enforcement, I will say this and to his defense.
He's
He
been
has
on
been around and they shut him down.
Yep.
Shut him down.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
We got campers out here, they come out here and camp. They got toilets on the side of the canals.
Yep.
That's all county. That's not us. We have no authority unless they're on our property.
You got
That's all
people
county.
living
there.
And they're not doing anything about
As
it.
far as the fish
Mike
farms-
Swindle, Mike Swindle, Mike Swindle. Call him.
I got no problem with Mr.
What was
Swindle.
that, Gene?
No, I
I
like
don't
him.
even know
I've
him.
known him since he was this high.
No,
but
I
I'm
don't
saying,
know
call
him.
him, call him, call
I
him.
You were
will.
gonna say something?
They got people living in campers out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Now, as far as the fish farms go, don't y'all allow them to have the permits?
No.
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 that's
I thought that was one of the deals that they were
No,
going to take the
no,
permits away.
no.
Because remember we had the problem with them pumping and our canals?
Yes,
Their overflow?
Well, we can stop them from pumping in our
Well,
canals.
that's what I'm saying.
But
They
we
were
can't
talking
stop them
about
from
the
setting up a fish
renewal of
farm.
their contract or their permits or whatever
Actually,
it
they
was.
did. They said they wasn't gonna get no more permits, and there's a brand new one being built
Yeah.
right now.
They're not
So
giving
for the
any
fish
more.
farms- So for the
That's
fish
right, so
farms,
fish farms-
Department of Agriculture, aquaculture,
Correct.
and they're the ones,
Dax-
they're tied in with DEP.
Larry has met with them before.
Right, so all permitting for fish farms, aquaculture is right, is the Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services.
And they don't back it up.
They don't
Well,
like that.
there's DAX, and the aquaculture industry are real close.
I've had DEP out here twice on the one fish farm that was pumping into the canal.
Right.
And they said, yep, we're gonna take care of it. They're like, you'll be heavily fined. And I'm like, cool. 2 weeks later, still pumping.
You know, anybody got any friends
I
with Channel
don't
20?
think DEP has, I think it's
We
DAX.
can bring them
Well,
in.
no, it was, I originally called
He don't own the
Department of
property.
Ag.
Guy in Miami
They're the
owns it.
ones who.
He just
who
runs
put
it.
me
He
in
lives right next
contact
door to
with
me.
the guy in Fort Myers through DEP.
You
Yeah.
find the
And,
owner. He went to
it
jail.
falls under the same regulation as if Vinny changed his oil in his yard, or he had a 5,000 gallon diesel tank and somebody cut the line and it poured into the ground.
Yeah, the permit that a fish farm, I've actually done the fish farm, it's an industrial discharge permit.
It is.
because it's-
Yes.
Shit.
But
see,
who
and
gives
that
them
was-
the permit? How can they give them a permit to discharge
Department of
on our
Agriculture, the
property, on our canal?
Yeah.
No, they all their, so they have
They have
to
a
treat
zero-
the water.
They have a zero discharge.
Right.
Waste
No,
product.
that's zero discharge. There's
It's
two
close. They
things.
have to meet the nutrients and the
Stormwater,
phosphorus.
they discharge in our system. The water that circulates, it's a separate system. That they cannot discharge.
So we can monitor and make sure that they're not discharging anything other than rainwater?
Because that was one of our biggest,
Absolutely, they cannot discharge the pond water because that's polluted.
Right.
and that's what they're doing.
Storm,
Well, we gotta prove it.
Well,
Very
I've
simple.
done this.
You had-
We've took
Then you
pictures,
have
I've showed you.
photos of it.
Yeah,
Listen,
we've done this before.
get a cup, get a jar, scoop it up, and we'll send it off.
Okay.
That's
And
how
that
you
was
do
one
it.
of our biggest deals, because if you remember, they were testing our water here. We were paying for it.
I remember.
And that's what we were worried about, is them pumping in, polluting our water, and we're having to be the ones getting fined
Exactly.
for
Let
it.
me tell you something, that acre and a quarter pond that they got directly behind Aunt Rachel's house, there's no way in hell that water's gonna pass.
Okay, hold on.
Even
Can we-
even if they
Very
don't
simple,
pump it
gentlemen.
on
I
horse
got the
flow,
solution. When we get our new dump truck, we'll build a dike around them damn things about this high.
There is a dike
And
around.
we can build a dike on our property. And they can't pump over that dike.
well, even if they don't pump it,
Benny,
if you
they
go
have
through
to pipe
833,
Underneath the
Well,
road.
now that's another story. But guess what? Now that's a lot easier to see and a lot easier to get somebody out
The
there.
other jackass that climbed in the canal pulled it up.
Yeah.
Mr. Fumero, are you through with your?
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
and
Go
so
ahead.
I will, under my report next time, I'll give you a little update on the whole fish farm permitting thing.
Yeah, we gotta do
I'm
something.
done.
You done?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Buddy,
we stirred up
we've
the
got
fish
20 minutes.
All right, we're gonna go into the reservoir.
We've got 20 minutes to discuss the reservoir or the four-wheelers, whatever you want to call it.
Dirt bike.
Dirt bikes, all that included.
I just simply think, along with everything else, we have to do something different because we're doing the same thing and nothing's working. So we're not gonna get a different result.
So let me ask a question with what the sheriff has implemented and what we're talking about implementing. The only way that they can ride in Montura is they put it on a trailer, come back
Right.
here, park, or put it in the back of the truck, park, unload, use their key or break the lock and get in.
I think,
Or flip it over. I'm just trying, I want to get clarification because people are going to blow my phone up as well.
well, and I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
tell
give
you,
you a suggestion, turn it off.
I can't do that.
I am.
I'm for the constituents.
We have to, and I'm gonna tell you something, that part-time employee that we're hiring is gonna wind up seeing some, frontline action. Because, let me tell you something.
You don't want
sticking-
him involved with that.
Well, but listen, you stick someone, you have that reservoir. They're doing what they want. The gate's not working, we can fix the gate. At some point, we got to have someone at that gate on the weekends. And it doesn't have to be every weekend, monitoring who's what. And we gotta change the rules. It's kinda, we gotta have access to these people. So-and-so's here, look, look what he brought. No, y'all go home. And it happens again, you lose your key. Or you don't get a key. We gotta do something different.
All right, let me tell you something.
Gotta have somebody
What was it
fix
costing us for the deputies to be out here per hour?
$95 on the holiday, $80 on
Per
the
hour.
regular day.
Now, let me tell you something.
How much is that? Well, I'll pay half of it.
per hour.
Yeah, I'll pay half of it. I'll pay the other.
Let me tell you something, there was a deputy in charge there one weekend. He allowed people in there without keys.
Yep.
Who was it?
I'm not gonna tell you who it was.
Recently?
Can't do nothing about it.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's gonna deny it
Hold on.
100%.
Right here.
No, te lo digo a ti.
Okay. Because I damn sure tell him. I don't care.
Because he allowed a family member in there,
One of his family members? One of your family members?
in there.
Man, you even tell on your own family?
No, 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 Bruno.
Hey, this is our reservoir.
No. I'm telling you his action. We're paying $95 an hour for him to pull this joke. No.
We'll get this straight, believe me. We're having
Go
this
wait.
already. Yes, sir.
Post it up on his car to make it part of the
You
day.
got the right of way
Don't pull that joke on me.
shut down, right?
Yeah, they're
The
shut
only
down.
way you can get here is a trailer.
Trailer or a truck,
And
something.
that includes my house. You how far I live.
Unless you want to take a chance.
That's right. That's right. So, yeah.
He will.
You feel like
If you got the right of way shut down, you're gonna make them trailer them down here.
Yes.
And then we're gonna
And the
talk.
deputy does his job, the tickets and
Right,
repos and all that.
right.
That should
Well,
curtail something.
Why don't you do that now?
Right.
We are.
There.
All right? That don't work. You can fix your gate. That don't work. Then take another step further. But stopping them from running from back here off Appaloosa and where have you, up and down the road and on the right of ways and down the canal banks, that's gonna impact a lot.
That should.
And it should, and it needs to be, because I'm gonna tell you something else. Wetlands. Y'all were here, do you remember the
I know about
conversation
that.
we had about the wetlands before I left here before?
Yeah,
That's been 6-7 years
There ain't
ago?
nothing
Hold on,
been
hold
done
on.
with
Okay.
Mel Lucas and invested.
Okay,
and all
somebody
that.
forgot about it. What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen when they remember again? They're gonna come back.
Oh, yeah.
So, we got to start doing something now.
We're building
We gotta be
houses
proactive.
right now.
So, we've taken care of where the houses are, 'cause that needed to stop.
Yeah.
Or we've done what we can to start taking care of. Now we gotta worry about the reservoir. That's why I say it. We don't have to do everything tonight, but we gotta start talking about the system that we got. I don't think it works. I don't think it works. I think we gotta do something
For a
else.
while, but now it's
passes is
got
way
back
too
to
many.
where they
Six passes
found
is
ways
way too
around
many.
it.
Yes. Now, I'm not so sure that we don't need to get a committee together to take care of the reservoir. Just 3 volunteers, or we vote on 3 people, and this is gonna be a committee, a board, or whatever, and y'all are gonna oversee. Of course, we're gonna make the rules, and y'all gonna help us take care of the reservoir. Maybe that's the answer. But we gotta do something, and we gotta do something quick. Yes, sir.
Okay, so we planned, it was, what, however many years ago we put the gates up. We started the rules and regulations we adopted with Glades County hunting area. That's what started this whole deal. We had to do something, right? Glades County also, there's other rules and regulations that they have that we haven't applicated because it just stopped. We started it and it stopped. Glades County hunting area, you get 1 day, which is an open weekend, or open meeting, sorry. That's when you get your key. Only 1 day you get a chance to buy a key. That's it. The rest of the year, you don't. If you're not there, you don't get a key. Plain and simple.
They should have to be here to
This
get all
is a
the
totally,
Okay, so hold on,
this is a totally different animal. You own lots here, you know. This
I understand that with Glades County, you have to own property to be a part of that as well. It's the same scenario. So let's knock down the numbers of keys. Can we do a capacity like we do for the swimming pool?
You mean like so
No.
many riders are allowed in the reservoir?
No, because every tax, you pay taxes, and everyone that pays taxes is allowed to have access.
A lot of people have threatened, various conversations I've heard and some out of here, some of these people have threatened to sell their lots if they
I'll
can't
buy
get in the
it.
reservoir.
I'll buy it.
So, I'm saying, maybe if we push hard enough,
I'll
somebody
get there
will
with
sell their
you.
lots.
I'm ready.
And maybe that's the best thing.
And keep in mind, you guys can close.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a good idea or bad idea.
No, we don't want to
You
close
have
it.
the-
Right.
Or you could Now, again, it's all about enforcement. You could say,
But we,
the
I was
activity's
going,
only limited to this area versus that area too. You can also do that.
well, but you can make all the rules, listen, we can sit here, again, don't do the same thing over and over and expect a different outcome. That's my kick today. And guess what we've done? The same thing. Keys with stickers, no stickers, no one is watching that reservoir.
Nobody's watching.
So, but we can make all the rules we want. We can give keys out on odd days, different days, funny keys, green keys. It doesn't matter. If you do this, you're gone. It doesn't matter. No one's enforcing it. No matter what we do, till we come up with a way for someone to stand at that gate.
Like a gatekeeper.
Maybe we
How
pay,
about-
maybe we buy a four-wheeler and we have an employee that we put out there on, you're gonna work Saturdays and Sundays, and that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna ride the reservoir and take pictures, take names, whatever. And if we have to kick them out, we kick them out.
Can I-
Until you do that, nothing's gonna work.
Can
I guarantee if you just put
Yes,
somebody
ma'am.
at the gate
Well,
with a
this
list,
is, well, I'm just listening because, again, we were talking about Henry County Sheriffs. But with private entities, even with like communities, private communities, they have security detail.
Exactly.
And they have people with security D license that have the right to,
We can't do that.
no?
We don't have the
I'm not
power.
sure.
Security, have hire
So
security.
just as
You
do
can have
the,
security.
yeah, we can have security stand there, you're gonna pay them to be there on the weekends, and that is, you're paying a contract, it's a
Yes,
subcontractor. All you're doing is having a person stand there, they have the
Yeah,
list
I mean,
of the
You can hire the
landowners.
sheriff's office, you're gonna hire a private company, you can.
It's not
the
gonna
only
be as
difference
expensive, is what I'm saying,
We
but
did
they
that,
will be
John.
there.
Right, that's.
We
the
did that
difference is-
and the deputy broke the rule.
Okay, so we get another one.
Well, yeah, that's,
Well, okay, but we can't, okay, one deputy broke the rule, we're gonna get to the bottom, we're gonna get to the bottom of that. But we gotta find another one, because I can tell you, security,
Yes.
deputy, whatever you do, all these rules are crap unless we can enforce them.
You enforce it.
We have to
and that's
enforce
the
them.
benefit of, if you have a sheriff, they have the ability to arrest somebody. They have the ability to write an enforceable ticket. You know, that's what you get when you have a sheriff's officer there. The private security can take pictures,
Yeah, take
can
pictures,
tell
you can
people,
call, yeah.
can tell people, you gotta, you know, but that's
So-
about it.
So what about this? There's nobody in the state of Florida that's able to do what they do with the all-terrain vehicle for as little as what they can do it here for, right? Without owning property. So why not attack the issue with the people that are four-wheeler? Again, I own a four-wheeler as well. Let the four-wheelers bear the burden of the seriously.
Here we go.
If it costs $100 a year, that's still cheap.
I was laughing because I
To
said
ride,
something, yeah.
because most people have to ride to Brooksville. All that stuff in Miami-Dade's been shut down, that's why they're coming here.
Why do you think it's been shut down? Because
Yeah.
the same reason that we're having, yeah.
Whatever it costs, if it costs a sheriff deputy, if it costs an employee, let that burden be on the people
So
that
you
ride.
could come up with a budget, what would it cost to
Yeah.
have one or two deputies there?
Oh, we did
Saturday?
it already.
Then you come up with a budget, and you divide that by the people, in other
Yeah,
words,
that's
it
why
pays
we
for
write
but
itself.
you got to keep in
Yeah, but
mind
where's
too,
that
the problem with
$50?
having a deputy
What you
here,
doing?
correct me if I'm wrong or not.
Going
The
to
man can
general
sit here at the
funds,
gate.
and we pay
And I
you.
thought
When he
it
gets a
was,
call, he got to go somewhere else.
hold on, here in the house.
On
They keep
detail,
costing
Hold on,
$300.
yeah.
on a
No,
That's what
detail,
we need to do.
Hold on,
If
let
it's a-
him get done, I want
Oh,
everybody to
okay.
hear this, that's fine, okay, go ahead.
oh, if it's a paid detail, that is their assigned post, wherever the detail's designated.
Right.
When I'm out here working on the weekends and stuff like that, I've sat at that gate plenty of times, but exactly right, I'm not on detail, so when a call comes out that there's a fight over at Mary Lou's, I gotta run over there and deal with it.
Understood.
Or a call comes out that there's a drunk driver coming up from the res, I gotta go get on 833 and get him stopped.
Right.
But a detailed position is a posted position, and whoever the deputy was that did that needs to be kicked in the crotch. So, 'cause that's all it does is give everybody a bad name that wears a badge. Mr. Mata, he mentioned Brooksville. I think you're talking about Croom?
Yes, sir.
Up in Brooksville.
Yep.
Croom used to be a big state-owned area. Everybody went in there and rode, and it was just kind of the unwritten rule. You went in there and you had a good time. It was kind of like Redneck Yacht Club before Redneck Yacht Club has changed it so many times, had so many stabbings and stuff like that.
Right.
Look what happened this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. So here's what they did for Croom before they came up with the 1-year permit registration.
Okay.
So for Croom, they're having the same issues, same thing. Game wardens with Fish and Wildlife were having to sit there and they're having the same exact issues. They get a call, they leave, 50 people go in. So what they ended up doing was the state of Florida hired a couple people and they said, here's the deal. We're gonna keep these gates locked all the way up till Friday morning, and they'll be locked again on Sunday night. We posted people there. They built basically a little check station, put a cash register in it. And they said, everybody that comes in here, $40. They said, everybody that comes in, if they want to ride, they'll pay $40 to ride in here this week.
Per vehicle.
Per vehicle, per ATV or side by side. So they did that. Worked wonderful for a while. Things were going great. You come in, you check in, they write down the VIN numbers of the bike, description of the bike. You got to have an ID.
Right.
They pay their money. They know who's on that bike, where they're going, when they come out, what times they were in there and everything. And that worked great for a while, made a pile load of money for the state. And what the state ended up doing after about 4 or 6 years, I don't remember exactly, was they ended up doing the 1-year registration. Because they took that money, they put up, you know, basically the boulder barricades to keep people from sneaking around the sides and stuff like that along 75 and everything like that.
Right.
I don't know if that's something that can be done here. I don't know, but
at least they had a plan and they were controlling what was going in and going out.
Yes.
Well, we don't have that here.
Yes.
That's why
That's
we
the
have
thing,
to
at least they had somebody there at the gate controlling it.
Yes.
Well, that's what we gotta, control is gonna cost, and it's a good idea. Let's figure out what it's gonna cost to have, I don't know, a deputy here all weekend. Then see what that cost is. Is there any way that I can get a list of all the key holders?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I have it. I have it.
Okay, I'll send it to him. See how many people we got, and I'm one of
We
them.
got 200 and,
I'm one of them.
150,
58?
159, right?
So,
159.
159,
do we do 2 deputies or 1 to start? 2 to start and then cut it back to 1?
What do you guys think?
I just think
I
we
think
need
you
to put the
should do
brakes
an
on it quick.
employee and a deputy, just like you said, that way it ain't laid back and just let whoever go in. That way you got somebody on our side in there too.
Okay, that's an idea. So, okay, so we'll figure out 1 deputy, what it's gonna cost to pay somebody for the weekend.
You're talking about a 24-hour, because there's some people that go in at night, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking
Well,
about
the only reason we do that is a lot of people that can't.
You just gave me another idea.
Close it down at 6 o'clock.
No, close it. You're gonna go in from a certain
Sunset
time
and
to a certain time. There's a lock that you have to get in and out, but we're gonna add another lock at 6 o'clock. It's locked up. So if you're in, we'll see you tomorrow. If you're not, we'll see you tomorrow.
See, the other thing about that is you gotta think of the people that use it for hunting.
Yeah, for
They're in there
hunting.
That's the
before
way
6
it works
o'clock.
on Amelia Park.
I mean,
If you stay inside after 6, your car stay
Yeah,
inside. You
the
gotta
point
walk.
is
Wait, there's hunting in the reservoir?
Yes.
Yeah.
that's what it was originally for. It's for reservation.
You know, I don't know how with all those vehicles in there.
Yeah,
I can't believe this even.
Hey, I mean, I'll be honest with you. Let me tell you why. Because nobody goes in there in the morning. All the riders come in after lunch. That's why.
All right.
So in the morning time during season, it's actually a very.
We
good
keep
place.
telling everybody.
So let's get back to it. I don't care what you're doing in there. We see how many people we got, we figure out what it's gonna cost, very simple. That's what the key's gonna cost you, enough to pay for the 2 people, Saturday and Sunday. We just gotta decide what time. We're
Well,
gonna
the
work from
times-
what time to what time,
So
and
not
lock
the
her
times
down.
In the
So not to
past have
sundown.
been way too early.
Do what?
The times in the past have been way too early. I think at one time, they had the detail posted, it was either 8 or 10 o'clock in the morning. And usually, like he said, 12 o'clock, people start showing up, maybe 11 o'clock, all the way
12 to 10.
9 o'clock,
12 to
10
10.
o'clock at night. People are still running around out there. And, yeah, you just pick a time to shut it down.
Yeah.
And when they check in, say, hey, listen, here's the deal, you gotta be out by this time. If you cannot be out by this
You
time,
must stay.
good luck to you.
Yeah,
know,
we'll see you
fight
tomorrow.
mosquitoes.
Don't be scared of the boogeyman and mosquito. Yeah. No, we gotta do something. I'm gonna tell y'all, because we're gonna lose it. We're going to lose it. That wetlands deal was hot and heavy, it died off, it's coming back. We start being proactive now and
Is that
doing
illegal
things
land
to
right now?
control this a little bit. And the people that live here, that should have the right to use it, will be able to use it, hopefully for a long time.
Well, can't we just, if you, homestead exemption here, or like we do with the dumpsters, you know, you gotta show a light bill to be able to dump here. Can't we do the same thing with the keys?
I thought
You
about
gotta
that
at least
too.
have homestead exemption, or at least a light bill?
I thought we had to take our deed down there to get.
The problem is now you're gonna leave
You
landowners.
do, they have to look
But
at
that's,
the
that's,
tax.
that's
the
a question that we gotta
That's the
decide.
thing, we got
Do
people
we
that
wanna
don't
push that hard?
live here, live in Miami, come here around the weekends.
So in other words, if you don't live here,
If what Gene said doesn't work, give it, try this first. But my suggestion is, if you're a landowner and you
you
homestead.
live here, yes.
Yep.
No, you homestead.
Yep.
Right, live here.
You can live here and you
Well,
have another.
homestead.
Okay,
Right, right, right.
homestead. From here, you pay the $50 annually for keys.
Yep.
If you own land here and you want a key, it'll cost you $500 annually.
When you gotta at least show a light bill.
Yeah, but you're gonna do it one way or the other. You're gonna, a lot of people will pay it. They've got $4,000, $5,000
That's
in a
okay.
lot.
That's
They'll
okay.
pay the 500, and they're gonna bring the 8 or 10 people to continue
no,
the same
That's gonna
service.
pay for your detail though.
It'll pay for his.
It'll pay for the
his-
details.
Pay for him.
Okay, so we're talking about, okay, doing the sheriff and one employee, and then, oh yeah, on top of that, if you're a landowner, you live here,
You homestead here.
homestead here, you have a $50 key, and if you're from out, it's 500.
500.
Works for me. I'm
Eh, which, to be honest with you, by what I see every weekend, the majority of all the trailers with the mobile homes that's coming through Cabbage Palm, none of them live over here.
No,
All
none
of them
of them
are
do.
camping every weekend.
That's it.
Yep.
And that's,
And that was another thing, like when we did the trash cleanup.
Hey,
Every single one that was here to help, plus some people that don't even live here, they live in town, okay, with the exception of those. Not one person that actually just owns property here and don't live here came and cleaned up. Everybody was homeowners, pretty much, with, you know, that was,
Well,
that was
so,
here.
Mr.
full time.
Alvarez, when I say $500 annually,
oh yeah, annually, of course.
okay, break it down. $10 a weekend.
All right, so.
You're mad. Oh, weekend. Okay, I was like, you're mad no off. It's 2 weeks. Okay, yeah.
All right, so we get a deputy. Deputy. They're gonna, it's gonna be Saturday and Sunday, or
And let's-
Saturday and Sunday, and then employed.
And let's back off the stickers too,
Can I-
6
can I
guests and all that
interject for
other
a
crap.
second?
Yes, ma'am.
The detail with it not being a holiday is $45 an hour. It's
Well,
90,
you know, our biggest problem is also on the holidays.
the holiday is 95 per hour.
Per
You gotta
hour.
go by the.
What is it normally?
It's 45
Oh,
not being a holiday.
we can just figure 95 per hour all year round, and
Exactly.
then we have
Not-
enough money.
exactly.
We'll be able, and we may even make money off this deal. And let the, like you said, the people that have homestead,
Homestead, that means you
so
live
we
physically
gonna get a
here.
$50 key.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just kidding, but yeah, we gotta do something, so,
And if it doesn't work, you raise it to $750 the next year.
I know some people that live.
Started at
Huh?
7:30.
Started at 750.
Yeah. Started at 750, and the next year it doesn't work, $1,000, $1,200.
Bruno's bringing ad valorem
But now,
tax.
this is another thing though, now, if you get somebody to break the holes in the gate and you start pulling keys from the building.
we just gonna change a lot and start over.
You might get enough money to pay for
You know,
the roads too.
Benny, that we're gonna do for next year, November, when we change the.
And I can
Okay, so
bring
next year I
back
can
to
ask
some
for like
ideas.
500 for the cleanup?
Yeah, the biggest land
gonna
manager
get it out of
in
the,
Florida is
Yeah.
Game and Fish. They operate more,
That's what we're doing.
I can give them a call and get some ideas of how they run their program too.
Okay.
Because again, we're not reinvent the wheel here. This is,
No.
there are other areas where they've got a system in place that works.
The biggest
They've got
deal
to
here
do
is
that.
enforcement.
A lot
And
of
I'm sure you're gonna hear
The
it.
easy
I
part
wanna
is
hear it.
writing rules.
Yeah, well, that's what I say. We can change all the damn rules we want. And they're gonna laugh at. They're gonna keep pushing 4-wheelers over the top of the gates. They're gonna cut our locks, and they're gonna rip the roar and tear them, do everything they want to do. We need. I got somebody that he don't know it yet. He's gonna fix that gate free of charge, so it looks like a palace gate. They can get over it. They can't get under it, and they won't be able to break it. But
Whoever you got there doing detail, can you have them to open that gate, because I'm kind of, my back's kind of sore.
yeah, I'm sorry about your luggage. If you got a back problem, we won't give you a key. So anyway, we wanna move on this or what?
That should be in place for our next,
Yeah,
key change.
You wanna go ahead
Let
and?
me bring back to you some
Okay.
ideas. Let me call, I know some people at Game and
Okay,
Fish.
all
These
right.
guys, they run hundreds of thousands of acres of lands that has access. They've got a have some good ideas. Let me
Okay.
tell you.
And I talked to one of them today, what's his name? Was on phone.
Okay. Well, go ahead. We'll wait. Yep, so we're gonna wait till next week.
Yeah, I'll give you like a whole.
We're gonna let them write tickets and confiscate all that they can.
Yeah, meanwhile, we got a new plan. Yeah, take all the four-wheelers and take all the money and burn them up. Let them sucker keep coming, like, we're gonna burn them up.
So I had
Hey, they never done nothing but rip the
heard
floor and tore this place up. I ain't got no use for
that
nothing.
that the board had wanted to do this once, come up with some new regs, and they had a workshop. Did you hear about this? It was, I heard this a couple of years ago. This place, it was standing room only.
Chamberlain, yeah.
They were having parties out there. So the next day, they found a couple of cases of empty beer cans. And they brought people in here and the board decided not to do anything.
They were gonna do what?
This is about a year and a half.
That was when Swindle came over to talk about taking the animals away from people.
Oh, yeah,
I heard, boy, they said this place was
listen, one thing about, I ain't intimidated by that.
No, I'm
I'll
just telling you.
put my shit in my pocket and we'll go to work. We'll go to work. I don't care. We get in for none of them. I don't care if they fill up the whole, all the outside. Cause this is our place. We live here. We gotta take care of it. But listen, I'm gonna tell you something. You know what to get you a crowd in here more than anything in the world?
Talk about it.
Make an announcement about we're gonna do something at the reservoir, and you'll have more people in here than you have at election time. You'll have this place just like you said. That's all you gotta say.
And that was
And
one of
it's-
my suggestions, like if y'all were gonna do the keys, doing one day, out of the year, do it during election time. That's when everybody shows up anyways, so just go ahead and.
But those are
do
the
your
people
keys
that
then.
come to vote on me, the
Hey,
ones
that'll
that
help-
live
that'll
on
help
the
bring
weekends,
Yeah, I understand that, but I mean, that'll help bring people in the vote too.
Yeah, 12 people. Yeah, you won't have 12 people in. Anyway, you guys, anything else you want to discuss? We're done? Finished? Anybody, nobody, anything else? All right, we have a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.